Alright, we are back in the Sunless Sea. Now, the last time we were here was exactly a week ago. Last stream, we were out last Tuesday, just this past Tuesday. We haven't actually been here in a while, but from what I remember of that stream, we got quite a bit done. Primarily, of course, was the fact that we actually got the Fulgent Impeller finally. We finished off the Mechanics quest to go pick up that engine over in Fathom King's Hold. No, hold on. King Eater's Castle. Yeah, what are the king locations? All the way down here. Yeah, that's King Eater's Castle. And so that engine has really given us the ability to speed around the Sunless Sea, sometimes so fast that if we're going to locations that are really right by each other, then we're not going to get our something awaits us. If I'm a little off today, I have been away from streaming for a little bit of time, so if my thoughts don't quite line up, not that they ever particularly do, or if they don't get to their completion, if I break off halfway, that's going to be why. But hopefully, we'll be able to finish some stuff up. Speaking of finishing stuff up, we have now finished off a lot of our officers' quests. The Nacreous Survivor, formerly the Nacreous Outcast, was the servant of the principals of Coral over in Port Cecil, and we finally delivered all the items to him. Unfortunately, the principals who wished for non-existence mentioned to us that their servant, the formerly Nacreous Outcast, now Nacreous Survivor, would actually be returned to non-existence with him, and so we ended up throwing the game, the chess game, that would cause that non-existence to happen for the principals, and principals figured out what we were doing, so we didn't gain quite as big a reward. I think we just got Scintilic, I want to say. I think we just got some Scintilic as a reward instead of a bunch of secrets, I'm pretty sure somebody in the chat said. But as a positive result, we also got the Nacreous Survivor here, who stayed around because we did not non-existence their boss. The principals have stopped talking to us in that time. But I'd still call that a successful choice. We chose our friends over weird requests from sentient coral. I don't know. Kind of weird. We have also completely finished off the tireless mechanic now that we've gotten his engine here, the Fulgent Impeller, which gives us a lot of fuel efficiency in addition to that engine power, a 50% increase in fuel efficiency, as well as some iron and mirrors, so those are always appreciated stats. We've basically completed the Irrepressible Cannoneer's quest line. The only thing we have left is to turn our Awakened Seal of Red Science into a weapon. Unfortunately, it is a forward weapon, which would mean it mounts to the front right here, which is a slot we don't actually have on our current ship on the Clattery Heart, and we're probably not going to change the Clattery Heart here anytime soon. Oh, we can actually name it. What should we name it? Germain. Oh, that does not. Uh-oh. Oh, whoa, hold up. Okay, that actually set us off. That did not pause the game when we named that. So we've named our ship Germain, because apparently that's something we could do. We never named our last ship, but oh well. Now we know. But yeah, we don't have a forward slot, so turning this Awakened Seal of Red Science would basically just lose it from the slot. Now, its bonuses aren't the best. Mirrors and iron both get raised by 3, but in the shops here, I believe it's one of these shops? Yeah, right here. There are other ones that primarily apply to mirrors, but they also usually reduce stuff. The only two are the Judgment Resonator and the Speculative Consonator, as well as the Withering Optical, that all just raise mirrors without lowering our veils, which is nice to have very high. So this isn't something that is massively valuable to us, but having it take up cargo space and not being able to put it in a forward slot once it's turned into a weapon, that would be a problem. Now, we do think that the Fathom King does need the weapon version of this Awakened Seal, because he does request a brilliant weapon, and that seems to fit the mold, just based on the sound of things. That said, we've still got a few things to go and figure out for him. Primarily, or foremost among those, the Eldest's End, which I do believe is Venderbites here, the first curator, whom we have done all of the colors save Violent for. We just need Violent for him, and then we will get, presumably, his end, once we've turned on all of those colors, because we've turned in all the rest of these 7, I believe. Yeah, all other 6 colors just throughout various items, and we have definitely seen Violent ink somewhere. Not quite sure where, but we do need to find where we can get Violent and finish that up so we can get the Eldest's End to satisfy the Fathom King. Beyond that, we also need a Mirror Catch Box of Sunlight, easy enough to get. A Officer with the finished quest, as explained, we've got tons and tons of those, and a few more still that we need to do. And the Heart of either Mount Nomad or the Tree of Ages. Both of those are endgame-esque bosses. I'm not quite sure which one we actually go for there, because both seem very difficult. Both of them have just about 1,000 health. I believe Mount Nomad has 1,000 health, and the Tree of Ages has like 900 or 800, somewhere around there. So it is going to be quite the task to go get them, especially considering our ship only has 1 weapon on it. Songbird Misty. WanderCon's Heart. Oh, okay, interesting. So we can find Violent ink there. I'll have to go and do that. With our new engine, we can travel distance at quite some speed, so it won't take nearly as long getting across the map, which is good. The only other thing that we need that I haven't mentioned for the Fathom King's requests for our father's bones is the fruit of the Eternal Tree, which we already have. We found it in the dream over in Irem, the Hesperidian Apple. We can apparently use it, but obviously that would use it up, so we don't really want to. Wouldn't really want to do that. And yes, we are working on Father's Bones. This is the request from the Fathom King. So, still got a few things to do there. The Sixth Witness, also, wants us to talk to the Fading Horror Specs over in the Gant Pole, which is kind of done. I'm not sure if we're making progress because we haven't sent enough beasties over there. Or whether there's something else that I'm trying to miss, because she has not yet found any information regarding the Sixth Witness's request. And we've already sent her either 1 or 2 sea beasts, sent them down to the Gant Pole. So it's a little rough. We have not given anybody to the Fathom King quite yet. We're going to try to get everything turned in together. I'm not actually sure if we can turn anything in individually, but yeah, I think we're going to try to keep all of that into 1 submission. Other things we were working on getting Aestival down here turned into our kingdom, but we need any sort of technology to block out the sunlight that's actually filtering down there, so it doesn't drive us completely mad. We have 2 areas where we can do that. One is in Irem, and that is in the Dream a Serpent, I believe. Requests that we bring an empty mirror catch box and have all of our stats at 100. All of our skills here at 100, which is actually a lot closer than I really thought it would be. Still a ways off, and still more difficult, but that would allow us to get a presumably magic something in the box to go and stop the sunlight from driving us mad. The other lead that we have on that is down here from the Grand Geode. Those are the folks associated with the Dawn Machine, who we accidentally led into prominence and power by dealing with the diplomat here, the voracious diplomat. But their Commodore there requests some vital intelligence, 7 crew, 50 supplies, the figurehead of the Eater of Names, and a dread surmise, and will give us effectively the same thing. Presumably still magic, probably more technological in nature. I'm not sure which the Dawn Machine is classified under, because it seems sort of both. It halves them to get it. Oh, I think that came in when I was talking about the IREM option. So it halves the stats. Ooh, that's kind of rough. Because if we get them all to 100, right, and we have the stats, that'll be just about 50, depending on how far over some of them are. Like our iron would be a little bit over 50. But if we wanted to pass that on to a future captain, that would result in them getting halved again. So we'd effectively start off with a completely fresh captain, which is kind of rough. Yeah, that's not a situation we really want to get into. So I think we will definitely go for the Commodore's option, which was the one we had planned on going towards anyway. We do have to hunt the figurehead of the Eater of we have to hunt the Eater of Names to get its figurehead, and that is over by the Chelonit, all the way over here. I think it kind of drifts around this area just to the east of the Chelonit. So we can probably go take that on. I don't think it had quite as much health as the other two bosses listed in our collection quests here. I think it's probably somewhere around 600, which is still a healthy bit of health. But as it's a ship, I think, and not a Z-Beast, we should be able to keep out of its major offensive range. We can at least hide in a aft captain. Yeah, we can at least hide in its aft region. I think I said something else there, which will, even if it has an aft weapon, cut down the number of weapon hits we have to absorb into just a single one. Start at 100 each, go to 50 each. It's expensive. I'm going for the IRM option. Yeah, so I think we'll definitely go to the Commodore here, since we've already interacted fairly positively with his faction in the Untersee here. Beyond that, we are probably going to try to finish out a lot of quests here, at least the ones that we've been picking up hither and thither. That being our officers' quests, of which we have a few to do. We have finished off all of the ones here, save for the Carnelian Exile, and I think she's actually requesting that we head off. Yeah, master the map. For some reason, I feel like either through interpretation or maybe some interaction somewhere, we needed to head off each side of the map for that. I can't remember exactly why I thought that. I think it might have been somebody in the chat in one of the previous streams where we talked to her that mentioned that we needed to head off the sides of the map for her to do that. That is conquering the map. We also have the Haunted Doctor, which we have not yet talked to, whom we have not yet talked to. The Genial Magician, same as the Haunted Doctor, have not really discussed anything with him. And the last one, the Merciless Modiste, who we've talked to a little bit. We found out that she was part of a crew here. Yeah, the Set, who was like a sailing, a submarine ship, the Irrepressible, it seems. And they were full of like a bunch of really strange artists. Because obviously she herself is not very nice. Apparently the perfidious composer here is quite betrayal-ly. That's a word, right? Betrayish, we'll say. The Ender of Critics seems very stabby. And the Silent Sculptress seems like she's murdering people to make her sculptures. Along with the Pianolist and the Poet. But we've also got a few things to do for her. Immediately next on the list is picking a uniform for her that we need to get the items out of. Now, we were really hoping to boost our pages, so we were thinking of doing the dress uniform. Now, that does involve our Comatose Ferret being turned into part of the costume. Pages, however, is a very nice stat, and I did actually look it up. The Comatose Ferret has pretty much no other uses. He's never going to really be happy. And considering we've just kept him sort of prisoner on the ship, I think that would actually be a fitting end to him. And for that, we need 3 bales of parabol linen, easy enough to get pretty much anywhere. We can get them in Fallen London. If we want to spend high prices, we can also get them in Irem. We also need this royal blue feather. We need to hunt blue prophets or milliner bats, both of which we have seen down on the south, blue prophets especially. The milliner bats, we also saw somewhere between Varkas and Adam's Way, I want to say. They're kind of sparkly bats, which I was very concerned about. They also have quite a bit more health, just about as much as the Blue Prophets, who I'm kind of concerned to fight. But hopefully we'll do all right there. No, poor Ferret, he's a good boy. He doesn't deserve to die to be a uniform. No. He's clearly going to be just a scarf. He is functioning as a a living uniform here. He's gonna be totally alive. He's gonna be very happy. He's gonna get lots of pets. Very happy very happy ferret there. But yes, we need to hunt down one of those two items, the milliner bats or the blue prophets, somewhere on the south side of the map for her. Let's see, how are our food stores doing? Not great, but we probably won't fill up here. Well, maybe we'll fill up a little bit. We can't actually get free fuel from the Admiralty anymore because the Admiral has gone. As soon as we sent the Grand Geode folks, the Dawn Machine folks, into prominence, the Admiral completely disappeared off the map. We no longer have the ability to turn in port reports. Yeah, it's really not great. Milliner bats are the better choice. Don't go after the prophets. Oh, okay, interesting. The prophets, we have seen some flavor text that mentions that what they call the moments of their praise deaths or something like that. Something very forecasty about death. So I do agree that tangling with them might not be so great, but I think the milliner bats had just about as much health as they did. And prophets are much more plentiful. We've seen lots and lots of prophets. We have not seen very many milliner bats. Not at all. They've been a very, very rare resource to go and find. So we might just go for the prophets. Whichever one we see first. The cockatoo that the chef needed is still around and just squawking in the recesses and living his best life. Completely unobserved by everyone. Exactly. I'm glad you understand that we definitely don't kill any poor defenseless animals in the Sunless Sea here. It's a very pleasant area. They call the names of the people that are about to die. Ah, that's the one. Yeah, that's exactly what the Blue Prophets do. So hopefully they don't do that to us while we're trying to murder them. But yes, so we've got to do all of that. And we've got to just set out to sea. Now, I don't think we have too many locations we actually need to visit. We do need to bring the bandaged poissonnier to Fathom King's hold, it seems. At least according to the quest log that I have here. We haven't quite finished with his quest either. So that is on the far south of the map. Maybe we could go and collect a couple of milliner bats or blue prophets down there. Trust me, go for the bats? Okay, we'll try to avoid the blue prophets. We'll see if we can confront any bats, hopefully down in the southeast. We also have to drop off this gift for the Pirate King over in the Isle of Cats. We kind of kidnapped a guy from the Cumanian Canal, a surface zailor, by clonking him on the head with a cooking implement of some form. I believe we were eating dinner, having some soup. I think we used a soup ladle to bat him over the head, and quickly shepherded him into our brig. And we'll go deliver him to the Isle of Cats, and that'll actually free up some cargo space. Beyond that, though, we've got to go to Wisdom, which I believe is the Sea of Lilies? Yeah, the Sea of Lilies, that prison over there, and kidnap the governor, bringing him to Hideaway up here. So I guess our first route will be heading southwards. We'll head down first to Rack to really restock over there. We'll only want enough items to get to Rack because Rack has exceptionally cheap prices since we liberated it from the threat of starvation. It is now ascended and has fantastic prices. So we'll probably stomp off there. We'll head to maybe the Shepherd Isles, maybe Abbey Rock. Since port reports aren't really valuable anymore, stopping off at random locations are just going to be for the basic things that they actually give you. Maybe we'll just skip them all entirely. Go to the Sea of Lilies. Oh, and we can actually head over to the Uddershroom. We still have to propagate the mushroom folk. We check right down here. There we go. We have 6 abroad. We need 7 for the reward there. So we can go pick one up on the way down. And we can bring them maybe to one of these islands. I guess the Isle of Cats, I don't think we've actually deposited one at. So we can drop one off at the Isle of Cats. That would be 7. We'll head across to King Eater's castle, and then we can return to the Uttershroom to get our second reward there. Rack is more valuable to me starving. Interesting. The food and fuel prices there are fantastic if you actually fill it up, if you help them out. So that's how I did that. But maybe there were some benefits to it starving that I hadn't quite realized. We also, I believe, need to go to Igel, because our what was it? I think it was something freedom. Igel's or Nook's freedom. That quality has gotten quite high, and we need to reduce that quite a bit. Let's see if it shows up in the menaces here. No, it doesn't look like it. Ah, there it is. Tastes of freedom. So we are very, very used to Nook water, but we've actually had issues coming out of Nook since we've been there so often. It's resulted in us kind of getting, I think, terror when we actually leave Nook, which is really not great. That's not something you want to have happen. So we'll go and trade that out in Igel, since I believe that is one of the locations, or maybe the only location, where you can actually reduce that pseudo menace. It doesn't actually show up in the menaces, but it's definitely a problem. So we'll go reduce that in Igel, which I guess means that we will head to Rack and then very far south to Igel first. I think that's the most efficient route. Then to the Isle of Cats, up to the Sea of Lilies, to the Uttershroom, down through the Melting Isles maybe, and then to King Eater's Castle. So let's call that our original route. We'll head up after King Eater's Castle to Irem, I think. Eventually, we'll head to Irem. I guess we could stop by the Empire of Hands. It's been quite a while since we've actually been there. They requested some supplies, fuel, and something else I can't quite remember for their airship. They wanted to actually sail off the east end of the map, which we actually have yet to do. We've sailed off the north and south sides both times at significant cost to ourselves, but I think we need to sail off the east side, which can be done pretty much anywhere, and the west side, which goes past the Dawn Machine here. You can just barely see that western edge of the map, so we can actually sail off all four sides and see if the Carnelian Exile does anything to that effect. But we probably won't do that this time. We'll head up to Irem, then to the Khanate, since somebody mentioned that Violent can be found there. And then we'll just keep going. We'll see what everybody has to say in terms of officership and stuff like that. Do all that stuff. Now, I do want to make sure before we head out that I go and maybe pick up some more crew. In fact, considering because we're considering fighting the Eater of Names to grab their figurehead, maybe it's a good idea to grab more sailors in case they get murdered by things. I think we could probably even out our fuel and supply now that we have that engine efficiency. Yeah, let's go grab a free, or a cheap rather, crewmate. We also want, if we can find our lodgings here, to rest, to get those restful nights. We apparently also had a wound, which is a really good reason to rest. So that will also be cleared. The yearning burning maybe is going down. We're not quite sure. That's from the sunlight stuff. And since we've got a fair amount of echo, we've lost our major source of echo, which was on the surface, to go and head up the Cumane Canal, sell off a whole bunch of Dark Drop coffee beans from, I believe, down in Port Carnelian. Maybe that was another location. But to sell them up there for massive, massive profit. Unfortunately, our cafe that we were working with has burned itself down. So we don't really have that as an option anymore. We're kind of just coasting along on our current profits. Maybe we'll figure out a new trade route. Maybe not. Icarus and Black. I am not quite sure what that one is. I think the cafe was called something else. We've also got these casks of mushroom wine, and I have no clue as to where or why we have them. Yeah, I've got no clue whatsoever as to what's going on there. Hmm. Were we using them for something? Did we pick them up as a reward? How very strange. Okay. Yeah, that's... I'm totally clueless as to why we have those. Can we offload them somewhere? Do we sell them off here? Did we buy them here? Hmm. For future reference, the first trip take 59 coffee at the most, and after that take 60 per trip. I think we only had enough space for like 40-ish. Coffee thing shuts down based on certain numbers. Oh, I see. Interesting. So it's actually like a numbers count. That's interesting. Well, regardless, that's kind of not useful to us right now, just because we've kind of already done that. Icarus in black as a weapon. Ah, I see. I think we'll just sell off these casks of mushroom wine. Maybe we'll keep one on us. I'm really not quite sure where we picked them up from or what we needed them for, if we needed them for anything. So I don't have anything listed here, right? Just checking our quest log. Back wine to go to Nook. No, we're not planning on going to Nook anymore. And even if we did, we only need one wine to get into Nook. I don't believe we need to bring wine to Hideaway or to the Isle of Cats for that request there. Yeah. I'm really not quite sure. I'll just sell them off, all barring maybe one here. And we'll pick up some firkins of prisoner's honey instead. Also one. We'll only pick up one here. Maybe two? Nah, one should be fine, because we'll trade that for a Blemigan. Scratch that, two. Just in case we need one randomly out in the sea. Around, where we're sailing around doing goodness knows what. Everything else, we're all good. We've got the best engine. We have already sold the previous engine. We'll go re-equip Milebreaker so we can get that fuel benefit, even if it does sap our hearts down a little bit. I think that's still alright to have. And fuel, yeah, we're doing okay. I'd really like to do all our purchasing over at Rack. I think with 3 fuel we can get over there. But just in case, just because I don't want to be caught out anywhere, we'll buy up to 5 fuel and we'll buy 1 more supply here in Fallen Legend. Then we'll head out to Rack to start our trip here. We'll go flick off our lights while we are right by Fallen Legend, surrounded by lights and whatnot. Godfall requires 5 to trade. 1 goes to Godfall, Guiders, Carnelian, Khan, and occasionally the Iron Republic. Okay. Yeah, I think we're all done with Godfall. We have completely adventured around, or was it, the, like, Fallen Spire area that they had over there. Totally done with that. We've got a big old crab here, Western Angler. We'll kind of leave him be. Where are we at? Yeah, wow, we really make pace with this engine. But Rack should be just below us in a little bit here. We'll just submerge a little bit earlier. And conveniently, our Something Awaits Us come back, so yeah, we can really go quite the distance before our Something Awaits Us comes back. It's a good thing all of our trips seem so distant. Whoa. Whoa, turn. Okay, we're good. And we have made it down to Rack. We can go check Wrecking, Khan's Heart. Yep, everything's okay there. We are already friends with the Fair King here, whom we can have a drink with. And do we have any new information from this? Because there's the mirror here that has a reflection of a dude with glasses. We've been looking at him pretty often. Let's try to go see ourselves here. Are you in the glass? Oh, wait, is this new? I'm not quite sure. Try to see yourself. Are you in the glass? Eyes blazing, you step toward the mirror. It flashes in the light. You see yourself on deck, saber at your side. You look improbably healthy, restlessly vital. The lights of London glow off your prow. The city, too, is different. A triumphant arch of blazing mountain stone has been constructed across the docks, the words, "Death hath no more dominion," engraved across it. The streets are lit by steady electric lights of the kind seen in the Khanate, but the priest officials you can make out sermonizing to the dockside crowds wear white robes like those popular in the Presbyteriate. Hunched over the rooftops is the clawing outline of the bazaar, a blasted ruin. As you watch, your reflection issues orders, crewmen also nimble with preternatural health. Hurry to obey. The guns on the deck swivel to train on the great arch. The fair king's voice interrupts the vision. I am never sure what it is we are seeing. The gentleman's hopes, his fears? He certainly seems to have an ambitious imagination. Wow. Okay. So it sounds like, in this occasion, we've kind of sided with everyone outside Fallen London. It sounds like we sided with the Khanate and the Presbyteriate, because the bazaar is now a blasted ruin here. But we're also about to blow an arch down that may or may not have been there. Maybe it's an alternate future, a different result in choices that we may or may not have made. That's definitely new. Yeah, the wrecks have all done wreck things. We've been sending them in here occasionally, just because the situation in the city has been steadily increasing. So we don't need to taste anymore. We've actually... Oh, scratch that, actually. I think there are actually more storylines for us to see here. Let's go check that out. Let's see, let's check... which of these were friends? I think the ring was... if we chose the king to be our romantic partner. The cup maybe was friends? Or was that acquaintances, and then the knife was friends? Let's check the knife out here. Yeah, I think this one is new, an astrolabe. So we can go and focus on this. It's as useless beneath the Z as it is on it, but it is still as beautiful. Tether melts in your mouth. What, just put them all over your back? Yes, like you've spoken about since you first met in Leon. All right, I just thought I'd check one last time. The needle pricks you, and as he begins to ink stars into your skin, you swear violently. Your friend laughs. Between the smell of coffee, the Parisian spring, the jazz playing over the gramophone, and your oldest friend adorning you in silver stars, what more could one hope for? Okay, I think we have actually seen this one before. The knife is definitely friends with the king, which we did ultimately choose, and I think we can only choose that after we have seen so many visions. Interesting, though. But while we're here, we'll go purchase out our supplies. I think we'll pick up, say... 20? Maybe more? It never hurts to be high on supply, especially since we're not planning on carting anything around. And it is very much the cheapest here unless we go to the surface, and that's not something we're likely to do. Let's do fuel first, and then we'll figure it out, because fuel is also the cheapest it'll ever be here. Let's pick up... You know what, let's split the difference. We'll call them both at 25. I think we can run with an even amount because our engine is so much more efficient with the fulgent impeller in there now. We could also buy casks of sapphires, but we don't really need them for anything particular, right? We might have needed them for one of the suits. Looks like the protective armor, which would boost our iron. We really don't need that, though. We need the royal blue feathers instead, so we probably won't get those sapphires with our one scintillic, and we can always get sapphires elsewhere, down in Port Carnelian, most likely. So I think we're all done here. I think we are done in Rack. So let's go plan our next route down to Igel here. Hopefully we'll see some Z-Bats. From Igel to the Isle of Cats, to the Sea of Lilies, to the Uttershroom, and then down to King Ear's Castle by one of the routes around there. Let's head out. And, you know what? Let's spend some time underwater. There are Z beasties here that we can send over to the Gant Pole some more. Oh, are there Z beasties? Maybe. This ship is a Khanate ship who is completely non-aggressive, as far as we can tell. Our terror is at 15, so we have no fear of the... what was it? Constant Companion, I think? The creeping, spooky figure that really hates everything. Primarily us. There's a nice little ship here. Oh, and there's some bones, it looks like. Let's go head over them. Yeah, grab some free supplies. Always a good time. 2 supplies. Harvest meat from the crab carcass for supplies. Sharpen the flensing knives. Grabbed meat. You lead a small complement of your crew out into the gloom. You work swiftly, shattering the claw and twisting the white meat from underneath. Your crew attack the shell with vigor and hammers while your bosun marks the time in 7s. You return to your submarine laden down with crab meat. The broken shell is left to the Z. Cool. Free food is always nice. This is, I believe, Abbey Rock. I do want to say, as you could see, that Khanate ship is definitely non-hostile. That's just a research vessel. We accidentally sunk one, which is how we found out exactly. But, still decent. We'll keep heading underwater to... Ooh, if we don't get carried by the stream into some rocks. Keep heading underwater to Igel. Ooh, what is this? Okay, I don't like the scuttling sound, because typically that represents the Constant Companion. But apparently we found a wreck. Retrieve sunken treasure. A wreck awaits below a dark shape in the water. The dark water. What caused it to sink, and does anything salvageable remain? Let's retrieve some sunken treasure. The cabins of the wreck are intact. Something of value may have survived. You don your diving suit. You lead your small crew down into the wreck. The lights of your submarine scratch at the darkness around you. Okay. What have you found? Could anything of value have survived? A leather-bound journal. Its pages are sealed with wax. Course uncharted. There we go. You cut the journal open, unfolding a complex navigational chart. It shows abysses and reefs, and these marks. Are they cities? Regret, remembrance, refuge, delight, flowers, freedom, and peace. We've got a revelatory chart. The Dark Spectacled Admiral will want to see this. I would love to see the Dark Spectacled Admiral. That would be great. Apparently figured that out. Whoa. Oh, so that's a phthalate. Oh, I see. So with the scuttling noise is actually us going through whatever that was. Luckily, this phthalate is quite a bit slower than us with this new engine that we've got. So we'll just keep outpacing him at a significant rate. Whoa, what is this? Can we touch this? Should we touch this? Maybe. Okay, yeah, so that's actually an interaction. Fluke needles. A cluster of quivering spines shiver in the current. A dead fluke's flesh dissolves in water. These brittle remnants, however, remain stony hard. Let's remove something stuck on the spines. An unfortunate diver, bones hang impaled on decaying spines. If you fail, you gained a wound. That's only a 50% chance. No, not a chance. No way are we risking a wound so early in the voyage. But we are just outside of Igel here. Let's go see what this random item is. Looks like fuel? Fuel barrels? Yes, it is. Unclear about what this is, but our engineer assures us it will burn. So we'll go and dock in Igel. Yeah, traveling underwater is really not that big of a pain. I thought it would be much more risky. But it's actually totally fine. We have made it to Igel here. We could explore the kettle. Could help sort needles. Let's probably grab a normal port report. Even if we can't submit it anymore. Still a good idea. And we can sacrifice a memory of Nook here. Because freedom sits heavily on our shoulders. Reduce your taste for freedom quality by 5. You'll be able to spend less time in Nook each visit, but will gain less terror upon leaving. Yeah, so that's definitely good. If it only reduces it by 5, that'll still be plenty of time in Nook. Plenty of time indeed. A release. You press the needle to your palm. There is a drop of blood, a jolt of pain. The needle grows. For the first time since leaving Nook, you can feel the pressure of your own blood straining against your skin. Intolerable. Hot, hot, too hot, bursting in the air. A fantasy, a future. We will taste this. The pressure under your skin seeps away like the slow deflating of a balloon. It leaves a hole in your mind, already folding in on itself and becoming impossible to remember. Some terror removed. Our taste of freedom, which was really handcuffing us before, has also been reduced down to 10. And our memories of Nook have been lost a little bit. As for what else to do here, we are acquainted with the first mate. I think we will help sort needles then. Yeah, it looks like these kind of ascend in the acquaintances with the first mate. This is the first level to explore the depths, the second to drink with the crew. Let's go help sort needles and figure out what else is going on here. There are so many in different sizes and shapes and colors. Long ones here, short ones there. Some are iridescent, some deep black. The first mate remembers each of them. When it was grown, how long ago, what regret it captures. And we've gained some needles of Fortis. Okay, and I guess that is our only thing to do. So, presumably once we get 10 needles here, we will be able to inject them into ourselves. Maybe take memories out of ourselves, but that'll probably get us some more acquaintance with the first mate. Fuel is doing okay. Maybe I should still do the ratios of fuel to supply just by a little bit less. But I don't think we'll need to purchase anything here. We'll go and head across to the Isle of Cats next. And I'll actually surface, since we're already down on the south here, this will actually give us an opportunity to see if we can find some of those milliner bats. Though I kind of doubt they'll come up this high. Are we... Yeah, we're right in line with the Isle of Cats here. If we do see milliner bats, we'll detour and try to take care of them. Our hull is just about full. I think we might have nudged something. But returning to the Isle of Cats here, we'll be able to meet the Pirate King? I think that's who we're meeting here. Who we have not yet met through our acquaintance, through our contact here. Let's go turn in the stolen surface sailor, I suppose, not zailor. Sailor with an S instead of a Z. A gift for the Pirate King. Your patron is overjoyed at your return. Eager to meet Leopold, are we? Sort of, yeah. Courtesies due, hand over your writhing, tear-stained cargo. Sorry, mate. Two attendants drag the prisoner off to the rose garden. You do your best to ignore the screaming. Your patron tells you that it will take some time for your gift's memories to be harvested, and the resultant honey collected. You should return later for your introduction to the Pirate King. Really? I have to return later? Oh man, and I gained 20 terror from that. I mean, that does kind of make sense, I suppose. But 200 echo also gained, so... okay. I guess we will return later, maybe now. I suppose we're here. Yeah, no, we can't buy red honey yet. Didn't realize red honey was harvested from surface sailor memories. So I don't think red honey is specifically harvested from surface sailor memories. I think it's just harvested from memories. I think red honey is basically just memories turned into liquid form, which they do here, which is kind of / very illegal. We're not quite sure. But it looks like we don't have access to it until we have either a key to the cage gardens. Oh no, we have to have a key to the cage gardens and no more than one. So I guess let's go meet with the Pirate King. What might one expect from Leopold, Pirate King of the Isle of Cats? A hulking, grizzled presence with a crimson cat tattooed across his back. An oil-bearded wretch with a brace of pistols strapped to each hip and eyes like wildfire. A gaunt-cheeked honey sailor, wasted from years of disillusion. He looks, as it turns out, more like a lawyer than a dissolute lord, though he is at least wearing a robe of patterned silk over his dark suit. Behind him, you see a wall of what you think are wine racks. On closer inspection, the racks hold bottle upon carefully labeled bottle of red honey. Captain's compliments, my king. Izari enters with a wine glass of thick honey. Behind them, Zaira drags in a stumbling prisoner. It is the sailor you stole from the Cubanean Canal, only they do not seem to recognize you at all. Memories stewed in honey. Your patron offers the Pirate King the wine glass. The king takes a sip, and the prisoner cries out as though his skin is being flayed from his bones. The spice-scented docks of Malacca, Leopold breathes before he is plucked away by the honey. He returns. Oh, right, because when you drink the honey, you actually like just disappear into thin air. Yeah, very confused, very confusing rather. He returns hours later, skin flushed and eyes bright. I'm very partial to the memories of the Far East. Very thoughtful of you. He bestows a humming, honey-soaked kiss on Izari's lips, then Zaira's, before holding out the vial to you. I guess we take a sip. You know what the heck? I want to know exactly what happens when you sip on this red honey. Or yeah, I think it is red honey, right? Let's go see what happens. The prisoner gazes at the ceiling blankly with no sign of his earlier distress. Each luscious drop coats your tongue like fire and longing. Someone screams, but it feels far away. You are consumed with the touch of a woman's hand in yours. You and the memory turn your face to the right, and there she is. Kembang. You met her 3 weeks ago serving drinks by the docks. Her father threatened to break your legs if you so much as looked at her, but you cannot help yourself. Her hands are softer than anything you ever imagined and dappled in warm sunlight. The curve of her smile slices into you like a blade. You come back to yourself in a sudden rush. You are lying on the floor alone, your face wet with stolen tears. On the desk, a key to the cage gardens, which you slip into your pocket, and a gold statuette of a tiger with eyes of polished ruby. Something about the statuette makes you decidedly uneasy. Still, it will probably sell for a good price. So we've gained a captivating treasure, another one lovely. We now have a couple visions of the surface. We got 10 from that, and we have the key to the cage gardens, finally, which means we will be able to purchase shipments of red honey. Unfortunately for us, I don't believe we have something awaits us here. Yeah, 600 echo that costs. We don't particularly know what exactly we can use the red honey for. I'm sure we've seen it somewhere. But still, that's something we now have. We can actually get red honey over in the Isle of Cats, which is great. And if we don't want to do that, we can actually take a walk in the Rose Garden. It seems we've actually lost the ability to talk to either of them. Zaira, our contact from the Abbey that harvests the lamplighter bees, or some sort of bee here, as well as the club that is around. There's that club with the other contact, the right-hand man of the Pirate King, who we were kind of concerned about, but it seems like Pirate King is on the up and up. He seems like a lawyer, so yeah, not quite sure. But I think that's all of our items to do done in the Isle of Cats. We'll probably go sail up to the Sea of Lilies and get ourselves a new prisoner, that being the governor from Wisdom here, the prison. So we'll go and set off to head over there. There's another ship. Is that a Corsair? No, a Corvette. That's the one. We do want to get out of their firing solution area. Fortunately, we didn't quite make it. They actually corner quite a bit better than we do. We want to stay on their aft. This engine's actually making that kind of hard. We don't corner quite as well as we used to. Yeah, that's actually really difficult. Because traveling at half speed, we don't stay quite out of range, but traveling at full speed, we can't turn sharply enough to go and get there. We'll go and sink it, and let's go check the wreckage to see if our... There she is, the lovely pirate poet. Has floated ashore again. We will do the familiar dance. She has left her mark on me and mine on her, both in the form of tattoos. But we gained 400 echo, some fuel and supplies, as well as a cache, which contains even more supplies. So we are loaded up on supplies now. Yeah, wow. We're doing great over there. Visage is still Visage, and I still hate them for destroying Pigmote Isle way, way, way back when. But we're not heading there anywhere. We're headed to the Sea of Lilies. Which I believe is over on the right side of this, right? Yeah, there it is. We gotta head around the right, and we can dock in the harbor. See what we have to do to go get the governor out so we can kidnap him. Probably will be a Veils check, just judging by how things have been running so far. But Sprightly Visionary, I believe that is the fellow in Hideaway, that we call him Eric because we know his particular name, and we always forget to write this one down. Yeah, we might as well help him. It's not like Hideaway has been particularly helping us out, or not as if Wisdom has particularly helped us out. We did have to buy our prisoner out of this when we were doing the Fulgent Impeller quest. So yeah, no reason to not do that. We already killed some guy for the Sprightly Visionary. Might as well kidnap a governor. Let's unmask the governor and present the summons to Hideaway. The governor is a ferocious, feared man. Do you dare honor the Sprightly Visionary's request? Sure we do. When you pass through the last gate of brass and iron, the governor does not welcome you. He only sits unmoving. You approach, he raises a hand, you leap to his desk and rip off his mask. Hello. You've seen his scarred face elsewhere. Polythreme has a high bounty on his head after he captured their vessels long ago and led them to their doom in some forgotten escapade. The governor roars and you pulls a pistol from beneath his desk. Before he can fire, you relate the Sprightly Visionary's orders. He stands, knocking over his high-backed chair. I will begin gathering my men at once. He bows deeply. Okay, apparently we didn't have to kidnap him. We just had to, we had to request that he went over there. Apparently the request of the Sprightly Visionary is enough to get him to head over. I thought we'd really have to kidnap him. Request. I mean, it was effectively a request. It seems like he stood to attention when we mentioned the Sprightly Visionary's request. I'm assuming that's what knocking over the chair means as he stands up. But request thusly received. Let's go head over to the Utter Shroom so we can keep Blemigans advancing around the Untersee. I'm scared how you request for food or something. What? My requests for food are very well and nice. Definitely don't murder ships outright while requesting for food. And it is so nice that we make decent time, though, traveling places with this new engine. It is really quite lovely. But we've made it over to the Utter Shroom here. Something waits us has come back. Let's go and trade some honey here. Honey for supplies and Blemigans. And we'll keep one on us, because we just need to one Blemigan to complete that task. And I think we haven't dropped any off at the Swallowing Isles yet, so I think that should be good. We might as well use our Something Awaits Us here to visit the village. Hospitable? Not exactly, but they don't chase you off with sticks. They usually let you sit beside their mildew-smelling fire. Oh, and today was an unlucky day. We gained some terror and a tale of terror. A day of spores. The Utter Shroom releases spores according to its own inscrutable schedule. Today, the air is soupy thick. They coat your hair, they clog your throat, they gather like sleep in the corners of your eyes. Conversation with the Shroomers is impossibly hard. You return to the ship where you find a tiny purple mushroom already growing in your ear. Shame. But, yeah, the Blemigan Gallivanter really doesn't like it here. Still not quite sure why, but our task thusly done. Let's head on down to the Melting Isles, which is just about straight south of us. As straight and south as you can get. And there's a big old eastern angler crab over there, but we have no interest in fighting that at the moment. Okay, there's the first edge. One of the islands here. Not this one, but the next one should be our port. Will we get our something awaits us before we dock, though, is the question. Doesn't look like it. That's okay. I don't think we'll wait for it. Or will we? You know, we've actually got food to burn. Let's just turn off our light and sit here. There we go. Till we get that coming back. Passenger we could pick up. I think probably not. We could turn some Z stories or some memories of distant shores into secrets. Ah, here we go. We can put a Blemigan ashore as well. The college is already a crumbling mess more plant and village. Unleashing a Blemigan here will only hasten the decline. Uh-oh. No matter. They'll be fine. Blemigans have been relatively peaceful, right? I think it'll be okay. Into the wild. It shows no interest in the village. It disappears straight into the jungle. There, little Blemigan, my goodness. Thrive. Thrive and multiply. So we've reached the propagation of 7 again. So when we return to the Utter Shroom, probably on our way up to Irem, we will have that go off again. As for what we should do here, I think we'll just eat, drink, and be merry. Our terror is a little higher than I would like it to be. I think because we dropped off that prisoner over in the Isle of Cats, that shot up our terror by like 20, which is not great. So I think we will probably just eat, drink, and be merry. We definitely don't need supplies. We are at 24, which is way too many. Way more than we need, rather. Not too many, but more than we need. So I think we'll just eat, drink, and be merry instead. Philosophers of the college are not hospitable, but this whole shoreline is bursting with fruit and edible fungus. Reach up and it falls into your hand, pick it up, and it's already fermented. And we've got tart morels and moral tarts, seaweed stew, and then the moving berry. That's definitely not an insect, which may be a lie. May or may not be a lie. But regardless, we lost 10 terror for that. So that is totally fine. I don't really think we'll pick up another passenger. They seem to just be duplicates of each other. I think we had 2 or 3 shady sorts so far, so they really don't do that much, and they also don't pay out a whole lot. So we'll just skip out on picking up the passenger here. And head over to King Eater's Castle to go and complete the Bandaged Poissonier's quest. Which we should be able to make decent time to. Now, our fuel... Not quite sure how our fuel's doing. I think it's because we picked up quite a few supplies that we're actually at the supply amount we are now. But I think we do need to still keep to the about 3 to 2 ratio of fuel to supplies. But it looks like the stars are going to go and crawl here. Sweet, we were lucky. We lost 5 terror from that. We'll go and keep on heading down to King Eater's Castle. Hopefully we won't have any run-ins with the Grand Geode dreadnoughts over there, because they do tend to patrol around here. So far, though, it looks like we're doing okay. And maybe we'll head out of Fathom King's Hold underwater. No, because we need to see if we can find milliner bats here. Yeah, no sign of the Grand Geode ships, though. Not a single one patrolling around the front. Maybe around the back, maybe a little further over. We'll go dock in King Eater's Castle, see what our Bandaged Poissonnier wants from this location. Nothing? Hold on, you did... I swear you did want us to go here. Oh, no! I've been bamboozled by myself. He wanted us to go to Fathom King's Hold. That's where he wanted us to go. So we actually got confused by the fact that there's 2 king locations. There's Fathom King's Hold and there's King Eater's Castle. Dang, that sucks, because we should have totally stopped by there while we were on our way from Rack to Igel here. That's a real shame. Damn. Okay. Do we head back over? It's quite a ways out of the way. We also don't have a ton of things to do. I think what we'll do, we'll head back over to Fathom King's Hold, just along the south side here, see if we can encounter any milliner bats, which we've only encountered around Varkas. That way we can fight those off. And then we'll head back north to the Other Shroom, probably to the Empire of Hands, just because it's been a while since we were over there. And then maybe we'll stop by an Isle of Cats, pick up one of those red honey bottles there, one of those vials. And I suppose we can stop in on Varkas and maybe Adam's Way, though I don't really feel like stopping it over there. I don't think there's anything left for us in Adam's Way that's of particular interest. So we'll stop by at Varkas anyway, as we make our way to Fathom King's Hold. The proper one this time, the proper king location. We'll do it at speed. And I suppose we can stop off in Igel, too. The Igel, or maybe just Adam's Way to buy fuel, because our fuel supplies are not doing so hot. Okay, so is Varkas... No, we definitely haven't passed it yet. It's still way off the ways here. We'll go and check in on their outside settlement. See if that jewel-turbaned youth is ready to set out to sea yet. We are now at Varkas, the lovely, lovely walled city, who has shut its doors to us. Now, the new settlement is still not ready to head out to sea. Tale of Terror received. Yeah, really nothing to do with Varkas. I really thought at some point he would set out to sea with us, but I guess he still holds a grudge from when we banished him from his whole society and whatnot. We stopped his revolution from happening. It looks like there is a dust storm happening here. That is actually not great. Hopefully we don't get drawn into the major component of that. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing any milliner bats here either. Yeah, no milliner bats at all. How's our terror doing? Terror dropped to 30-ish with a couple events here, so that's not too bad. I don't think we'll go into Adam's Way, just because we really don't have any need to. We'll just set up here, enter the shops, and pick up some fuel. Because fuel here and at Igel, I believe, are the same price. So we'll pick up 25? 30. We'll pick up 30. Maybe a little bit of a waste, but nowhere that we're traveling is going to have better prices anyway. Not for a while. And that'll keep us going around. It's not as though we need the cargo space for anything either. But that'll be all we do in Adam's Way. We'll head up north to Fathom King's Hold, where we should have gone in the first place. And that is just about straight north of us. Oh, that's right. A fully grown Gillifleur, I think that is. Jellyfish. Do we take them on? I don't think so. Ooh, there are those blue prophets. I've been warned to avoid them, though. Turn the light off here. They are... Are you kidding? They're on us? Let's burn some fuel to get away from them. We can definitely outrun them if we do that way. But yeah, blue prophets are all over the place here. They are really not an issue in terms of finding them. Milliner bats are much more difficult to find, so I was really hoping we could take on the blue prophets. If we end up having such a terrible time in finding milliner bats, we might just do it anyway. And I think, yeah, Gothic King's Hold should just be over here. or something awaits us has come back. Which means hopefully we'll have the ability to do whatever the Banished Cannoneer wants us to do. Does he need to go down to the Fathom King? I guess so. We could use a live specimen to repair our ship. Don't know about that one, though. Don't need drowning pearls or a white molly flower yet. Yeah, let's go check in with the Fathom King. We'll trade our Z story to gain access. Huh. Oh, here it is. Oh no. I figured out what it is we needed the casks of mushroom wine for. Those five casks of mushroom wine. Alright, we'll add that specific detail to the quest log, since I 100% forgot about it the last time since it wasn't written down. Okay. Wow, this has been a problem. I think we'll just ask a boon of the king. Gain 5 fuel, totally fine. A bit of a waste of a trip here, but... Whatever. It's fine. Everything's okay. We can just head over to the Uttershroom across to the Empire of Hands. You know what, since we're here, we might as well stop by the Isle of Cats and pick up that red honey. God, that sucks. That sucks a lot. Okay. Oh well. I don't think we can get mushroom wine anywhere on the Sunless Sea. I mean, maybe we can. It's just not something I commonly thought about buying. Because most of the time I buy it from Fallen London and sell it elsewhere for a very, very marginal profit. Go and head to the Isle of Cats here, and we'll sit in dock, I think, to go and get our something awaits us so we can buy that red honey. Oh my goodness, my turning radius is terrible. There we go. Let's go buy a shipment of red honey here for 600 echo. You could sell it for a profit elsewhere if you were inclined to take your chances with the revenueman. That I could, but I think I'll hold on to it just in case I need it for anything. I think we, at one point, would have been able to give this to the Admiral, actually. But maybe now we can trade it to the Brass Embassy in Fallen London, because that is another location that I've definitely seen red honey come into play. Hopefully they'll buy it at a decent price. Evidently, by picking it up, we've also gained some suspicion, though. So that's a little annoying. But, anyway, the Mellifluous Sisters seem reluctant to sell the honey to you until you show her your silver key at the Cage Gardens. To the Cage Gardens. You're an intimate of the Pirate King, she exclaims. Well, why did you say so in the first place? Yes, I am. So we are now in his inner circle, it seems, from her response there. We can apparently sell Sunlight here, though I kind of doubt at a very good price. It's also a very tough, what is that, Veils check? Yeah, look at that. Looks like a 40% chance. Maybe this will be a new money-making opportunity if we get our Veils high enough, but for now, that's a little too risky. Especially since I don't know if that'll actually... Whoa, no, what are you doing? Stop repairing! No! Ah! Can you... How do I... Stop! Oh my goodness. What is happening here? Okay. I have no idea how to stop this. You pause. It's still repair. That's gonna eat through all my supplies. God, I hate this. I can't untap R here. Because that's what I accidentally hit to go and repair. I might just unbind that stupid key. The repair mechanism in this game, mechanic in this game, is just awful. Key bindings. Repair. I'll set you to something weird like right bracket. There we go. Is there an unrepair item here? Remember when I suggested you unbind it? Well, yeah. I have no idea how to stop this. Yeah, it's just gonna... Okay, I guess you're just gonna burn 5 supply for, like, what was that, 20 hull? My goodness. At least it stopped there. But now it's completely freaking unbound. God. What a useless waste of time. It looks like there's a shark off to our east here and a corsair to our front. Corvettes to our front. I don't know why I keep calling them corsairs. God, what a stupid button. What a stupid key to have. Something you can do but never stop. Whatever. It's unbound now. It's rebound to one of the bracket keys. I've forgotten which, because we will never use it. What a useless thing it is to have. I suppose at this point we can just go to the melting isles and try to recoup our costs here. Yeah, try to recoup our supplies that we just lost, because we can do that over here if we have something awaits us. I suppose that will risk crew, but our crew situation's doing very well. We actually travel so fast that it takes a significant amount of time to come to a complete stop even after our engines are off. But yes, let's go gather some supplies here. You don't have time to stop and rest, but you have plenty, but you can gather plenty of supplies. The college members will grumble, but there's enough to go around. 4 supply, that's not too bad. Wonderful things. Your crew strips a stretch of shoreline bare. It'll be burgeoned again by next week, no doubt. So that'll basically get us enough. Could go to the Wispways, think not. Could trade some of these, 7 of either of the Z stories or the Memories of Distant Shores for secrets, but we won't do that either. We'll just come here to correct our error and head over to the Utter Shroom. Oh, there's a, what is that, pirate frigate from what are they called? From Polythreme, the Claymen. But we'll leave them in the dust. Oh god, big crab, big crab. No thank you. How's our terror? 37, still maintainable, still manageable. The crab may or may not know where we are. Don't think he does. With our speed, really, if we encounter anything, if we encounter pretty much anything barring the fastest of ships or Z beasties, we can kind of outrun them. Oh, yes, there we go. And we have 2 gifts to choose from. I think we actually chose this gift the last time, so I guess we check the other gift? I assumed it would remove one of these options once we picked them, but apparently it's sort of an infinite thing. Another gift. Ho, Zegoer, here. Shroom has something else for you. No more limbs. Seed now. An utter shroom sporal. Ah. Something red. It twitches with uneasy life. Mother's egg, the shroomer incants eagerly. Mother's fruit. Touch it. Yes, it will make you strong as mother. Place it somewhere damp. One day it will be daughters, and we gain some iron from that too. Okay. And presumably that reduced our propagation back to 0. Am I right? It does seem that way. So we'll need to just pop. That'll be something we can do infinitely. We'll just need to propagate as many places as possible, effectively. I think they go away. I think some items go away though once you put a Blummigan there. So I guess there isn't a finite amount of places we can propagate the Blemmigans to. Probably just need to go further and further each time. But now, to head back to the Empire of Hands, that long-awaited Monkey Kingdom that we've not visited in quite some time, mostly because we haven't really had anything to do there. We picked up the Monkey Foundling over there. And she was kind of the only major thing, barring, of course, the fact that the Monkey King, whoever it is, barring the fact that he wants to go and set a Zeppelin over to the east to escape the island and the blockade that the Admiralty has thus put on there. I don't actually know, because the Admiralty is gone. Fallen London's situation has been entirely taken over by the Grand Geode, so maybe there's no longer even an embargo here. Huh. I didn't even think of that when I accidentally did the overthrowing of the Admiralty unintentionally. Turn. There we go. And something awaits us coming back right on time. So, I suppose we'll grab the port report. We could bring those supplies. So supplies, souls, and fuel of 100, but I think if we are smart, working with the delightful adventurous will unlock a way to gather enough souls to complete the Zeppelin. Ah, okay. Interesting. We can complete them individually, but I do believe that there are ways to get them to complete themselves. I suppose we may as well talk with the civilized mayor here. Talk business? Why, yes, of course we shall. But after a cup of tea, one must do these things correctly. Polite welcome, darling, do come in, the civilized mayor purrs. Whatever can I do for you? The soul of the delightful adventurous sits comfortably in him, the four-souled ape of cold ambition and very few scruples. We could sell our soul. We probably won't. Could grab some more supplies for Fallen London prices, which is not half bad, actually. Yeah, I think we might. Oddly, little of the Empire of Hands' natural bounty is edible. The monkey will help you find the edible stuff for a fee. We'll get maybe one or two. Not too many. A crate of berries, fruits, and more. Most of them taste unpalatably bitter, but they will do you and your crew no harm in the short term. So we'll grab 2 of those, and then head back out to talk to... Let's see, where is she? The delightful adventuress, to go talk about the souls here. Let's travel to Fountainhead Island, where I believe she is, to go and see what she's still doing. She's still excavating the vault, it seems like. And consult here. Does she have any ideas on that infernal puzzle? The delightful adventuress rolls her eyes. Ah, right. The last time we were here, we got stuck on a moving puzzle of some sort, I think. We had to move a bunch of rings back and forth. One of those. I'm not quite sure. A delightful adventuress rolls her eyes. I would say, darling, that if the monkeys are not going to play fair, then there is no reason we should do any different. She taps the table for a moment. It is, after all, not solving that little toy that matters, but getting through the door. Perhaps there is a simpler way. So it sounds like blowing through it, right? To the vault of the first emperor, the secrets still await you. Monkeys sit idle, waiting for instructions. You stand once more before the imposing door. Yeah, let's head back in. The vault of the first emperor. This tribute to the empire's first and greatest has been constructed over generations by monkeys working with stolen ideas of what an ancient tomb should be. Let's go to back to the towers of Hanoi puzzle here. The puzzle sits smugly. The stone columns and their overly generous allocation of discs still await at the front of the sealed door. You grudgingly return your attention to the puzzle. Hold on. Yeah, because if we do it normally, we apparently have 32,000 moves, plus a little bit. We have 32,000 moves to complete before it actually works here. We want... She said there's a simpler way. Is there not like an explosive or some monkeys we can use with sledgehammers to go and open that? Maybe on one of the other islands. Let's head, I guess, to Hearthsake Village. Cannibals always have a seat at their table, and the lost treasure hunter has much to trade. Cold, expansive water. It is strange after so long in a real ship to be so close to the surface of the Z that you could run your hand through it. Not that this would be a good idea. I suppose we talk to the lost treasure hunter? Maybe. It was not madness that drove these pirates to cannibalism, but years of being shipwrecked without the comfort of meat. After a while, any meat would do. He doesn't seem so cannibalistic, though, this fellow. At least I think not. Adventuring supplies. He came well prepared for this journey, unless your ideas of preparation happens to include a compass, a map not written in riddles, a sextant, and a spare set of spectacles to compensate for severe myopia. Ah, we can get dynamite. Okay, so we can get it from him. You have a newspaper. At least I won't feel entirely lost when I get back home. Let's trade some recent news for that dynamite. Lovely. The trade is complete. The lost treasure hunter scans the latest headlines. Fascinating, he mutters, and should be most absorbent if needs be. If needs must, rather. Okay, so we've got that. Oh. Apparently trade 10 Tales of Terror for 10 Z stories. We have 37? Yeah, I think that's actually a pretty decent one. Let's trade stories with the lost treasure hunter here. He has survived many adventures, so have you. Tales of adventure and terror. Pirates, treasure, lost islands, undead horrors, ancient terror, dreadful beasts, intrigue, star-crossed lovers, battles of wit and cunning. Well, that's what your story's told. His turn. Ah, and we lost a cask of mushroom wine from that as well. Okay, I didn't realize that part, but that's still okay. And that is all we have to do. We could ask him for a map, but that apparently trades a searing enigma for it. We've got 10 somehow. I don't recall having quite this many. Maybe we'll do that, but we don't have the second bit here, which is apparently delightful archaeology being at 50. Presumably that will increase when we get further into the tomb. And I don't think we'll eat with the cannibals, even if we are unaccountably peckish. Let's head back to the boat here. Smooth, easy trip. Your arms are beginning to get used to the rowing. Ending most quest lines gets you a searing enigma, I think, or at least big quest lines. Ah, okay. So that must be why we've got so many. We've ended quite a few officers' quest lines so far. We'll head back to Fountainhead Island here and blow our way through the vault. Let's blow the door open with dynamite. There's more than one way to show your intelligence. Boom. Bits of rubble and clockwork fly. The stonework trembles slightly as if about to collapse, but then settles with just the occasional plink-plink of metal and the tinkle of falling shards and gears of all sizes. Well, that is certainly one solution, declares the delightful adventuress, unplugging her ears. I think, though, darling, I shall be taking the rest of those. Cannot fault your thinking, but we would rather reach the center of this quaint little tomb without ourselves becoming buried in it, wouldn't we? Or would we not, rather? Still, splendid resourcefulness. Splendid top marks. Yeah, we've reached 15 and we no longer have the dynamite. So let's press on through the vault. What trials await through the technically a doorway over melted cogs and fallen rubble? A huge maze stretches out before you. The delightful adventuress produces a large ball of yarn. Okay. With all due credit to Theseus, she says, nailing one end into the wall. I suspect, however, we shall not have to worry about a minotaur lurking in this particular maze. Come on, such things are hardly the problem for a woman of adventure. This will take but a jiffy. She leads the way with utter confidence, even when it becomes clear she has no idea where she is going, even when it becomes painfully obvious to all that she is merely turning left at every intersection, confident that this will lead to the exit. The string runs out long before the maze does, yet somehow this does not feel like an insurmountable problem for returning. I guess we go onwards. This part of the temple looks distinctly more ancient and more carefully crafted by its architects. A sense of respect and history pervades. The Hall of Histories. A mosaic floor stands between you and the doctor. The delightful adventuress catches your arm before you can step on it. Oh, sweetie, she sighs, pointing at the walls. Little holes run down both of them, just large enough to see the readied crossbow bolts behind. Isn't this wonderful, she says. I have seen many, many tombs, and most just put something big and heavy in front of the door. Bless their hearts for putting in all this effort into something nobody was ever supposed to see. Anyway, be a dear. I will be outside if you need me. She heads back to check on her camp. You're kidding. She just left me here? Oh. So apparently frozen red honey, which is not the red honey that we apparently have, apparently picked up, has something to do with attempting to read the inscriptions here. It also may give us a wound. Oh no, choosing a path may give us a wound. I guess we attempt to read the instructions. We'll give it a try. We've only got a 40% chance approximately, so... Well, we might as well give it a shot. The language is unrecognizable. Is that a bit of a pictogram? Why is it by the cricket stumps? No use. It's gibberish. Perhaps, maybe one of the monkeys can help, but it seems unlikely. There's not much writing in the Empire of Hands, and most of it simply borrows from Fallen London or the Khanate. Anyone capable of reading this is long dead. Ah. Quite a failure. So I'm not going to step on it. I just want to check out the mosaic floor. I think we can look at it without having issues. 9 colored tiles stretch across this corridor. Too far to jump. Blast, the monkeys thought of that at least, and it would be very difficult to get a ladder down here. It'd be very risky to simply guess, but a solution must be around here somewhere, or an alternative. None that we have access to at the moment, so let's return to the surface. This will require a little more preparation. You leave the vault. The monkeys are already poking and prodding at the completed rooms, crowbarring gems and valuable stonework, out for both sale and hoarding. So we finished that on up. Can we check over here with her? See if she knows a way over. The delightful adventuress ponders it. In my experience, darling, such things are built solely by meddling priest types to make the potential tomb raiders at least bang a little culture into their heads before they get their hands on the loot. Precious little bloody point otherwise. Just wall it up and be done. She bites a nail gently. If only we could read the monkey language, we could work out the correct sequence. Of course, there could be a way to simply bypass the problem entirely. Barnabas, have you any thoughts? The giant clay man does not look up from his duties. Oh, we could pay Barnabas to go. That's a little expensive. Especially since we don't know if we actually go all the way here. All the way in. I think we'll probably leave that for later. You know what? Why don't we check in with the Wild Weald Court, the royalty. Surely they might be able to read the monkey language. They would be more likely to read the monkey language than just any layman. Monkey? Lay monkey? Not sure. But let's go head over there. Your invitation stands until you unless you violate their sacred laws. Unless, of course, they find it funny. But we'll head back here. The guards nod and open the gates for you. There is no welcome. They stare at the ground throughout. I wanted to look it up, but apparently the whole Towers of Hanoi thing doesn't actually let you in if you have the patience to click the buttons 3,207, 700, my goodness, 32,767 times. Such a troll, I love it. Something like something clicks but nothing happens. Oh well, better reset it and retry. God, that's rough. But suppose, check out the silent gallery. While the emperor sleeps and feasts, the exquisite seneschal coordinates the great exodus. You are granted permission to enter. The silence is a pleasant slap to the face, sweetly scented with incense. Inside, the exquisite seneschal moves between clusters of mandarins in their yellow and red robes, using her experience to not so much give orders as offer advice on what the emperor would wish. So we can actually ask for translation, but we don't have this frozen drop of red honey. What is the honey that we got then? We just had red honey? Oh, but it looks like it is with the exquisite seneschal here that we can actually develop plans for supplying the Zeppelin so we don't have to do it ourselves. We do have the delightful archaeology high enough. We don't have a particularly potent poison, and we don't have a wild weald status high enough either. And it seems like an infernal trade agreement is the way you might do that. So, yeah, we really need to raise our wild weald status before we can do any of this sort of thing. How might we do that? The Chandler of Souls, perhaps. Your rising status in court has inspired an assortment of parties to inquire about your willingness to meet. Trust is not a courtly virtue. The Chandler will, however, be pleased to act as your intermediary to ensure fair play on both sides of the transaction. So we can sell our soul for various prices here, it looks like. High-souled apes prize quality over quantity, seeking beneficial spiritual alchemy. The Chandler lacks the finesse of devils, but he assures you that this is not a problem. Your soul is his concern, your comfort is not. I don't think we'll sell our soul quite yet. I don't know if it actually does anything. Maybe it doesn't. So I'll keep our soul for now. No sale, not for now. Whether the offers are insufficient or you simply thought twice you'll be keeping your soul. The Chandler of Souls bows. Should you change your mind, he is here. Maybe we can trade with them instead to raise our status. Trading. No, it is not trading. However, should you have gifts of a certain nature. The keeping of appearances. A small group of powder-faced apes and the red-trimmed robes of court mandarins invite you into a quiet, cushioned room. Drinks and honey cakes are served and business carefully not discussed. After a while, however, the charade gives way to polite expectation. Apparently we can trade prisoners' honey. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Violent ink. A gift of red honey. Oh, it's so lucky that we actually got that red honey then. Okay, so apparently we had a firkin of red honey. I don't know what a frozen bit of red honey, frozen drop or whatever it was, is. Maybe we have to get red honey and then bring it somewhere north, like to Frostfound or something like that? Not quite sure, but we have our last color here. And we have the ability to get it too. So that's fantastic. A gift of red honey, it is so hard to come by, muses the Mandarin idly, fondling a pot of rare violent ink. A pity, the exquisite seneschal is known to have uses for it. So do I, though. So, hey, we gained some status from that too. Perfect. A deliberate accident. Did you pick up the pot of violent ink instead of the honey you were showing to him? How clumsy. At least you have the perfect substance should you feel the urge to write a polite apology note at some later date. Okay. Great. Let's try trading the gift of prisoners honey too. This far east it is so hard to come by, said say the mandarins. Then they sigh as one. Is it so wrong, they ask, to seek a brief escape and to dream now and then? Of course not. I've got a spare for you. Here you go. Here you go, my friends. A monkey is introduced with the soul of a poet. Ordinarily, that is not meant quite so literally. His words alone transport you into another world, though a veil of sad tears and out through a veil of sad tears and out into a reality that feels somewhat warmer. At the Mandarin's nod, he leaves signed copies of his work behind, a gift for one of a land where such stories are prized and properly appreciated. We've got some romantic literature for that, so that's not too bad. But we have finished there. We had gifts. We already traded them. We did have gifts today, but we're all done there. Fantastic. So we've got our last color. We need to make our way over to Venderbite and experience the eldest's end over there. The first curator, presumably finishing himself, his end, his life there. Awesome. Yeah, that's fantastic. But I think that's all we can really do here. I suppose since we have something awaits us, we can be a visitor in court. The imperial cartographer works with uncommon fervor to create and compile maps for the court. A creator of maps, the cartographer painstakingly draws one of the Empire's islands onto a parchment treated to look ancient. He explains his art freely, glad for a moment's recognition. Since the quarantine and trade embargo, the Empire's best way to lure visitors has been to seed the Untersee with tales of lost treasure. Maps primarily just cryptic enough that they feel they have achieved something by their search. Then, while they poke around in the forest, both their souls and ships are... He stops. He said too much. Is there treasure buried enough? Oh, yes, he almost snaps, continuing to encode a series of directions into a recipe of some sort. If word spreads that there was not, why would you fools continue to brave the voyage? So we got some Z stories for our something awaits us. That's okay. That's not too bad. I think we should return here with more of something. Maybe some souls, maybe some wine, prisoner's honey. Probably wine, that'll be cheapest. But that will increase our status. We've got at least the violent ink, which is perfect. I think, unfortunately for us, that that's all we can really do in the Empire of Hands. Still, very, very good trip. We got further into the vault. We know possible ways of bypassing that. Bypassing the... I kind of want to call it a Dance Dance Revolution pad. It said it was like a 9-block thing, but the trap there. We got the violinic, which is most important. Now, to head to Hideaway, because we have talked to the governor in the Sea of Lilies. Now we should go let Eric, I forget his title. Should go let him know that we've finished off that task for him. Let's go and head up there. Oh, and the stars are moving again. Unlucky. It's always pigs. Okay. Still not the worst. And we'll sail on the eastern side of everything so we can start clearing out this black area here by Aestival. Now, Hideaway, we did murder that impolite investigator. Primarily because he was going to let everybody in Aestival know that it's actually going to collapse. I think they call him Tim or something like that. There's actually a giant Z-beast that has not shed its skin yet, and that not shed its shell, and that shell is what is anchored to the city. So as soon as the citizenry know that, it's probably going to be a bit of a cluster over there. We need to go and head under the waves here. Let's go perfect over here. Oh, and people are starting to dream. How terrible of them. We'll go and ignore them so we reduce the terror. And check in on Hideaway. Now we could buy a memento here. Not quite sure if we want to do that. Could also rejoin the festivals, though not so sure on that one. We could get a strange catch for a fair price. Everything else is sales, though we've almost sold supply when we only had like 1 or 2, when we had intended to buy supply over here. But I don't think we'll interact with any of the shop purchases or sales here. Screw it. Let's buy a memento from the slow blinking vendor. She touches her lips and tilts her head back. Her fingers travel down her throat to her belly, which she passed. There will be trade goods for food. She passes you 3 lumps of festering flesh. She presses her fingers to her forehead, then makes a fist. The Hideaway gesture of creation. These balls of flesh are apparently art. It takes her some time to convey more about the artwork. 1 lump is a smaller version of a beast who carries the city, although missing a shell. Another is a man with a terribly pointed chin. The last is, the vendor points vigorously above you, a lamppost. It represents the miracle of modern light here in this dark place. We were apparently unlucky. We got a strange catch for that. Did we not get art? Hold on, what? Okay. Not sure about that one, but I guess we didn't actually need to head back to Hideaway to go report that. So our task is done for him then. Huh. Do we rejoin the festival? I mean, I guess we're already here. Let's do it. Though you do not reside in Hideaway, the people of the city will allow you to participate in their festivals if you aid in the preparation for them. It has been long enough since you last attended that they feel comfortable with you joining them once again. Yeah, that was kind of because we upchucked our very strange food. Now, the last time we went to the Rainbowing, and they ate all sorts of terrible food. Temtum is apparently the name of the beast. I think this time we'll try and do some art. Yeah, let's do some art here. So it'll cost us supply. It'll be okay. We've got plenty of supply, and we are close enough to quite a few locations to get more to do so. The hour of our reflection. There is a dweller too ancient and too mad to help maintain hideaway. Instead, the suggester serves the ceremonial role. During the festival, they bark out a phrase, which everyone then represents through art. Invariably, the topics are variations on handsome Temtum's generosity or Hideaway's superb lifestyles. Let's go do it. The dwellers of Hideaway have collected rubbery, pliable fish flesh and piled it in the village, the festival square. Once the theme is announced, the dwellers pick out the choicest materials from which to build their offerings. Sure, let's join in. Well, actually, of course we're going to join when we just got here. You don't know enough of their culture to risk something more adventurous. A miniature Temtum is sure not to give offense. From the debris, you pick out fresh slabs of meat and sharp spines. It isn't difficult to slice the pale flesh into, roughly, the shape of Temtum. The spines do an admirable job of holding your little Temtum together, too. The near-forgotten betrayer across from you beams at your work. He tries to avoiding looking at the blithe fiddler beside him. Tries to avoid looking, I'm sure. At the blithe fiddler who beside him crams spine after spine into the man-shaped slab she's created. And we got some terror and a tale of terror for that. Okay, then. That is kind of terrifying. I would agree. And I guess it is now time to cut our hand. The near-forgotten betrayer next to you bites his thumb until droplets of blood ooze. It isn't an offering without something personal. Someone had a bad breakup, so it would seem. They're letting their feelings out with art. But let's go give some blood here. Hair or a nail or blood or tears. You scratch the palm of your hand and a streak of blood wells up. You squeeze it onto a lump of flesh you're working on there. A scarlet mark runs between Temtum's eyes. Others are more generous, slicing deep into their fingers than dabbing the blood onto their offerings with tenderness. Their expressions are beatific. Others force a smile, chew at their nails, and spit the pieces onto their offerings. A little more terror, but I guess we can try to explain our offering. At least it's not a check, or so it would seem. A parade to the black, guttering hole begins. Each creator takes a moment to name their offering before throwing it into the offering pit. They name their offering in turns. 1,000 helping fingers for my neighbor, a miracle that brought me here, deportment. You show the dwellers of Hideaway your offering. It was difficult with the limited materials, but you've managed to give the lump of meat and guts a passing resemblance to the shape of Temtum. They seem pleased, but more impressed by your skills with their sign language. You manage to convey that Temtum is important to you, even to you, a stranger. Your offering is the last to go down the offering chute. The suggester gestures their wishes for the good health of all Temtum, most especially. The people of Hideaway take this as their cue and depart. And we've gained 7 memories of distant shores, a little bit more terror, and we've celebrated the festival with them. Yeah, and it looks like the festivals will become increasingly costly to attend. That's not great, but we should be just about good here. I think we're all done in Hideaway. Don't need to visit here again. We may make our way to Dahoot before we head anywhere else, though, because we do need to pick up some more food. Looks like there's stuff to the south of us, though. 2 items. I see some oxygen and some beastie parts. Torpedo components. I think we'll just scavenge the bone, see if we can pick up some food off of them. Bones lay scattered about, gnawed on the Z-bed. Rib cages yawn open, breastbones shattered, fragments of skull litter the pearls like the sand like pearls. Did we take a closer look? Nah, let's just pick them up. You donned your diving gear. The bones are far from any wreck. They've been gnawed upon, perhaps even digested, then evacuated. All of value that remain are the things they chose to die with. An amulet of St. Jude, a locket bearing a strand of white hair, a scrap of paper, ink lost to the Z. On the less damaged finger bones, a few rings slide off with ease. Succeeded in the Veils challenge. Okay, so that wasn't actually a food, a supply related venture, apparently. But luckily, there's more here. Or not. Okay. Weird. Whoa! Is that a mine? Do I... Oh, okay. I didn't... I thought we could see it. Oh my god. Okay, so that just blew up. I thought it was like saying that I should go and investigate it, but apparently if you run into it, it just explodes, which is what mines do, I will admit. But okay, we're over by Dahoot now, though. So obviously the screaming faces will come back. Our terror is at 50 now, so we do have to worry about the constant companions starting to show up. I wonder if we can actually outrun them now, though, with our new engine. We'll go and pick up some more supplies for cheap. Probably up to 18, let's say. And we'll buy fuel up to 25. Yeah, we'll be okay. Just with that, I want to double check here, because we are planning to go to Irem for some parabola linen. What does Irem particularly want for those? Ooh, sacks of dark drop coffee beans. Can we get those in the Khanate, maybe? Let's see, Khan's Heart. We can buy sacks of dark drop coffee bean. Yeah, for 40 echo. Okay, and I think we needed 3 for the Merciless Modiste. So we're all good there. We don't need to buy any more drowning pearls. Yeah, we're all good. We won't yet set foot into Dahoot. We don't have the recent news to get in no matter what. But we've also got no other reason to stay down here. Let's head up to the Khanate. And we should actually resurface now that I think about it, just so we don't run into that constant companion here. We've just got a short journey. We'll stop off at the at Khan's Shadow first. Just because we can. And then we'll head to Khanate proper to buy our dark drop coffee beans and to Irem. So anything here of interest to us? Not so much. The figurehead of the Eater of Names sells here, so does a star shell. Neither of which, though, we have. And no other purchases really seem worthwhile either. So straight across and over. Alrighty. So. Oh. Something hit the rails. Well, let's go pick it up. Tale of Terror. Wow, we lost some hull. Oh no, this wasn't the lady. It was apparently a Leviathan. Canst thou draw out Leviathan with a hook? Your crew attempt to dissuade you, but you are determined. The nets and harpoons come out, and you busy yourself. The sea roils. The ship pitches wildly. Below the ship, for an instant, you see a vast eye glare up, golden as a lost sun. Sailors cry out and fall to their knees. It closes, and the sea is dark again. We get into Tale of Terror. We lost some hull, just one though. 5 terror, and a single Tale of Terror, along with some fragments. So, that's that. We'll go send the adventurer to Rack to make that city thrive a little bit more. We'll open up the Nefrit Quarter. And I think somebody said we could also Oh, right. It was the violent ink that we could actually get in, or something violent in the Khanate. But we actually already have that here, so that's totally fine. Do our spies need anything here? Prisoners, honey. No, but we already traded our spare in the Empire of Hands. That's rough. We'll keep that there though, because that's an easy trade to gain some efficiency here, or to gain some benefit. I suppose we'll grab the last port report we'll ever need. How's our suspicion doing? 8? Yeah, we can afford to get a port report, especially since it's a success. An automatic success. My goodness. And that'll be the last port report we ever get from this location, because we don't ever need any more. Anyway, first thing to do, talk to our Merciless Modiste. She needs 3 bales of parable linen, that is confirmed, and then the feather and whatnot. So we'll go and pick up, oops, in the shops. Oh, you can actually, no, you can sell a royal blue feather for 2 echoes. Wow. That's rough. I think I'd rather buy those parable linen. Oh, I thought for sure, or dark drop coffee beans. There they are. Okay, I thought for sure we could get them here, and I was correct. And I think we'll grab 4, 3 to trade, and 1 to enter the dream with. Don't think we need bolts of spider silk. I think we should be okay without them. And do we want an empty mirror catch box? Nah. We've got 2 romantic literature. 2 more romantic literature than we need anyway. So let's go set out to head to Irem and go and gain this. Why did you need the port report? I just wanted to have it. I just really wanted to have all of the port reports for all of the locations, because that is something nice to have no matter what. Head out east here. We could stop by Frostfound. Actually, we should stop by Frostfound. What am I heading out east? Might as well head out the north side. That'll give us some free food and fuel. Oh god. Oh god. We do not corner well anymore. Not at all. New engine is nice, but definitely not without its flaws. But we will go and take some tea with them to reduce our terror as well. 1 fuel, 1 supply. Plenty enough. I suppose we'll grab the port report from here. And head off to Irem. So we'll go and enter the dream. Well, no, we'll go and pick up the lovely parable linen first, and then we'll enter the dream, see if we can reduce our terror some more there, see if we can get anything else out of there. But I kind of doubt that we will be able to get anything too beneficial. I think we've gotten most of the special stuff out of the way. Who knows, though? I could be wrong. We'll go and dock here. So first things first. And 3 bales of parable linen achieved. Oh, wow, we can actually sell off this mountain sherd for 20 bales. I don't think we will. Sadly, we can only buy lamentable relics and not sell them. Which would be a shame. I would have loved to make tons of secrets off of the lamentable relics we've got. And everything else here, I think we're all good on. Yeah, nothing else particularly strikes my fancy. So we'll go and... Oh, we don't have a something awaits us. We can't enter the House of the Amber Sky. Do we wait? I don't think we do. Honestly, I think we may as well get another bale of parabola linen. Yeah, we'll just do that then. Perhaps I should have kept one, just in case we needed it for something or other. But I guess we don't get whatever terror reduction or whatever else we could find in the dream, in the House of the Amber Sky, so we'll just have to be happy with what we got. That is something I am totally happy to do. But for now, let's head over to Venderbite. Eventually. We'll probably maybe stop off at Mount Palmerston to get more fuel. But I think we'll just head over straight to Venderbite. We'll turn that color in, and we'll head back down to Fallen London where we can get mushroom wine and submit that to Fathom King's Hold. No, something awaits you still. Still all gone. We may as well skip over the Chapel of Lights and Avid Horizon. Just so we can clear out this blank space here before Mount Palmerston. So there are lots and lots of vortexes here. I'm sure they will pose no threat to me and my newly speedy engine. And we need to head a little southwards. Yeah, there we go. There's one square cleared out. And the other square ought to be here as well. There we go. Map cleared out just a little bit more. Now we could stop by Antha. We've got a new sharpness, I believe, of the tongue? Maybe one of the other organs, the spleen or one of the other internal ones. So we can enter some new locations there. The lungs. Ah, okay, I see. We won't go up the crater because that'll just get us spooked. We'll grab the port report here. And probably not dig among the ruins. Well, no, that'll cost a supply. Let's go explore the island, I suppose. Ah, there they are. There's the lovely colony of Glummigans again. We've actually got a 100% chance of observing them this time. Fascinating creatures, learn what you can. Complex situation, they do resemble the fruiting bodies of fungus. The mound itself looks fungal. Are they the same organism? And they communicate and cooperate. You watch as they drag a marsh rat up the side of the mound, bickering over the disposition of its flesh. You watch as half a dozen stand on top of the mound, listening respectfully to the chittering of the seventh. It's improbably reminiscent of a poetry recital. You take notes. We got 50 fragments for that. But yes, while we're here, we will go and buy ourselves... Well, we may as well stock up on fuel here. We're going to need it anyway, and it's pretty much the cheapest here as it's going to get. Well, maybe that was a little bit of a mistake, because Rack is so close by. But we'll go and submerge to Antha, just so we can test out our new sharpness of the lungs. Wow, really? Maybe, I guess we're over Antha. Yeah, it must have been that. Because Antha is right next to Mount Palmerston, like, straight alongside it. Oh god, turn. Oh my goodness. We are so unmaneuverable. Okay, and now we can go and mingle. They used to be coal miners, now they are impervious to coal gas and flooding. They might give you something. They might lure your crew away. Uh-oh. Something close to mutiny. The former coal miners speak of masters in cruelty and insufficient pay. They talk about what's due to bad captains and the rightful fate of those that give dangerous orders. By the time they're done with the topic, you've one less crew member willing to follow your commands. Dang, we lost a bit of crew. Might as well. Nope. Wow, bad luck. Third time's the charm? Hey, we did it. Help yourself. There's Z Coke and to spare. There's Z Coke and to spare. Okay, I guess that's sort of a complete sentence. Are you planning to leave Antha? Are you sure? Most people don't, but you may have the fuel if you need it. The one thing is, if you do go fully sharp, they'll take it back to offer someone else that can use it. They didn't spend all that time in the mine pushing carts heavier than a cow just to have it go to waste, so mind you use it. I shall, my friends. Free fuel is always nice. And I guess we visit Rosina? No, we don't have the drowning stuff from her. So we really do need to enter Dahoot here. We don't want to worsen her situation. Yeah, no. Nothing to do for her. Her animescence is setting her soul very much on fire. I suppose we could get even more pointy here. Even more sharp. I don't know if that's the best option, though. Yeah, so unread logs, it looks like, along with some muter salt, actually would give us the capacity to cultivate sharpness. That would probably be a little bit... Oh, no, that's actually the exact same chance as cultivating it the normal way. Sure, let's do it. It isn't as easy to go sharp as the Enthians do, but most who come here find themselves desiring the condition sooner or later. And we can take on another sharpness. Perfect. The environment is a help, but you must also prepare your mind and your will. Going sharp means giving up many sensations. Where should we go sharp? We've got the liver for an indifference toxin, the groin for groin sharpness things, the tongue to go and speak soft and slow, sharp, no, give up soft speech and slow words. Or our skeleton here. I'm really not sure beyond things here what sharpnesses do, if they change anything up on the surface. I think we'll go for the tongue, since that has a specific thing about our capacity for sharpness being higher in order to attain this. And it is now high enough to do it. I don't think we actually had that before. So let's give it a shot. Acumination of the tongue. Give up on soft speech and slow words. Come to know poets, court jesters, liars, and artists in cipher. As you can clearly tell, my tongue is not very sharp. But tongue points pinnacle. Tongue point pinnacle. The sharp tongues gather on a point of rock. There is little room for newcomers. The wit is crisp and dry. The diction is precise. Nothing is slurred. Nothing is said in error. Oh boy, am I not sharp in the tongue. But I suppose... We've got the Song of Broken Hulls. This is actually the one that the escaped composer, asked us to deliver in Dahoot. From Rack to Dahoot. So... would we lose it if we were to do that? I suppose we could always get another. We'll hold on to it for now, but we have that later. And we now have the ability to talk to the sharp-tongued as well. But I think we're all done with everything else here. I think we're ready to head back to Fallen London. And in fact, now we're heading back to Venderbite first. We may actually head there underwater. Shall we? May as well. May as well. We'll head to Venderbite and then stop off in Low Barnet since we're not doing anything with port reports anymore. So we can go and tell the stories in Low Barnet that we've been ignoring for quite a while. It's been a fair bit of time since the last time we were in Low Barnet. I'm also noticing that we don't have an oxygen counter anymore. Whoa, what are you? Oh, you're a beloved. Sure, I will go sink you. Even if I feel a little bad about it. I'm terribly sorry, my friend. Oh, I can't sink him. I guess he's beloved. Okay, that's totally fine with me. He's just a happy fish. He's just a happy little stingray. Oh, and that one is a fake wrecked ship. Though I would very much like to get behind him. Ow. Though getting behind him is a bit of a nuisance here. Or rather, the act of staying behind him. I found this much easier when we had a slower engine. Oh man, we just travel too much distance, too little time. Let's go grab a send a boarding party over, see if we can grab some of them. But apparently, they tried to play dead again. So we went and smacked them around. We stole some fuel, some supply, and a bit of echo. And we did all right. And we reduced our terror a wee bit. We should be heading over to Venderbite here. I'm very confused why we don't have an oxygen gauge, usually. Wait, I'm confused. You sunk one before? Yeah, I'm not quite sure as to what was going on there. Maybe that phthalate was different. Whoa, what the heck is this? Oh, it's an abyss! We've actually never encountered one. Uh-oh. But it seems our oxygen actually does exist. The meter's just not showing up. Sorry, Corsair Undergalley. I'm currently not breathing to death. We'll go and take care of those bats. Throw them in the pot to gather some food. Make our way over to Venderbite down here. Down here? Up here? How far off are we? Yeah, we're just a wee bit north. But we will go and visit the first curator to turn in that last color here. The pot of violent ink. We would have made a better contract, but we hungered for the flesh of gods. A stained finger. It extends a brittle arm from beneath its coverlet, dips it in the ink, and conveys the finger back to its hidden mouth. It sighs, the color will enter my bones, and then perhaps the moth. It's plainly rambling, but at least it hasn't forgotten your reward, a cameo of a bandaged beauty painted on the mummified palm of a mummified hand. Alright, not to everyone's taste, but it's terribly well executed, and we gained another captivating treasure. So that's all the colors. We are all done here. We can receive a final reward. It reaches up to clasp your hand. I am grateful. You don't know what you've done to me. Accelerated the growth beneath my flesh, spared me the sanatorium. Here, my disillusion. So yeah, as expected, and as just confirmed with him in that violent ink, he does have a moth growing inside him, and apparently we have kept him from the sanatorium by making it grow so that it will burst out. A birth. The curator moves faster than you've ever seen. flings its arms back as if in delight. Its chest pulses, then crumples inward. It cries out softly and turns its masked face to watch you. Its chest crumbles like damp clay. Something deep and sleekly shining pushes out. Antennae rustle, faceted eyes glisten. The curator's hand reaches up to caress the creature and then goes still forever. It frees itself, flexing damp wings, a moth of prodigious size. Its wings are figured with patterns in familiar colors: pelican, Varick, irigo. Ah, I see. It's a moth full of all the colors that we found for him. Interesting. The curator's end. The moth perches at the head of the sofa. You've never seen one this big. Its wings are a whole library of glyphs, clues, inkblot messages. It's finished, sir, the obsequious steward says behind you. Although he seems less obsequious now, all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. But first, okay. Apparently, we have some option here. Imagine seeing this but not having the DLC with the almost dead man. Yeah, that would have been quite the thing. Neat, though. So it can apparently accept a steam yacht's deeds. It was too frail to sail by the time she was completed. It would have wanted you to have her. Oh, it being the first curator. Okay. Leucothea. Leucothea class is a mid-sized ship with 250 hull that increases hearts, veils, and pages by 10 each. Yeah, no, that's much worse than our current ship, so we won't accept that one. We can accept a huge trove of secrets, 7 treasures, or take the moth. So I'm assuming treasures is more captivating treasures. A trove of secrets kind of sounds like the best option here. I don't know what the moth necessarily unlocks. I'm debating between Trove of Secrets and the moth. If the moth has a decent bit of story, like if we can do something with the moth, then I might pick up the moth, even though the secrets are very enticing. We can always get secrets. We probably can't get any more moths. The treasures, while nice, are not really that beneficial. It might help with Father's Bones. Okay. That's good to know. The steam yacht, that would have been nice when we were looking for a better ship, but the Clattery Heart is really just the objectively best option. This one increases stats by 10 each, it looks like. Hearts, veils, and pages. And all of those are pretty nice stats to have increased, but with 250 hull, that's much less than our current one. And the Clattery Heart increases our stats total by 50, I believe. So it's still also less than the Clattery Heart in that respect as well. Never mind to the above. Oh, referring to helping out with the Father's Bones. Here's the results. Yes. Don't spoil too much of the story, but if the moth is a good option, I would definitely like to know that much. And it is very runic. It's got... well, it kind of looks like a school desk, honestly. Kind of looks like just a bunch of things scratched onto the school desk. Maybe we'll find that that prolific S that's always on school desks here. Either 9 secrets, 7 captivating treasures, or the moth is a mascot that adds mirrors, veils, pages, and hearts. Oh, and loses hearts. Okay. In that case, we already have so many mascots, and I think the mascots are also not all that great. That doesn't seem like it adds a fair few things, but not enough to overwhelm, I think, the secrets benefit here. So we'll go and accept the huge trove of secrets instead. Perhaps it would have preferred you to have its memoirs. They're a little dry, but it was very wise. It has lived a long, long time. It's almost a strict increase from your current mascot. Yes, but we also have 4-ish mascots at this point. And that's just... I don't need any more mascots. I don't really think I'll use any more. And I think secrets are much more difficult to get anyway. So we'll do that. And effectively, with the amount of secrets that we get, we can technically add the equivalent amount of stats without a stat penalty to any of the stats we wanted. So let's go and pick that. Memoirs in the Dark. The memoirs are handwritten on bark cloth from the bulagus, those vast and woody mushrooms that grow on fertile islands. They preferred the old ways, the steward says obscurely. I recommend the section on its stay in the Khanate. Surprisingly spicy. It was not always old. My thanks again, and be discreet in the matter of the birth. Not everyone in Venderbite would understand. We've witnessed the curator's emergence here. And gained 9 secrets. So we now have 30 secrets total. Fantastic. Suppose we may as well explore Venderbite. Sure, what the heck. I can pick up some crew. For free as well. And, he's questing to keep a shrine to Salt. Sure, we'll keep that. And we've now got Salt's attention. Okay. Yes, that's another thing checked off for Fathom King's Hold. One of, well, most of them. Now we only have to fight one of those big Z beasties, either Mount Nomad or the Tree of Ages. Get that brilliant weapon, which we already have access to. Yeah, that's really the only thing we have to do. We have to fight either Mount Nomad or the Tree of Ages. Only allow it if you can store electrical current, assault, and battery. That's an awful joke. That's that's a terrible joke. My goodness. No, we're not going to anger any of the Z gods by preventing a shrine from showing up, unless that shrine is the last god that's unnamed, because he is a little cannibalistic-y. We're not gonna deal with him too much. But in terms of the Fathom King stuff, we've got a brilliant weapon. We only need, I think it was Devil Bone dice. 3 Devil Bone dice over in Station 3, I want to say, to go and turn that into a weapon, a brilliant weapon. Mirror Catch Box of Sunlight is self-explanatory and pretty easy to get, either in Astival or on the surface. Officers with a finished quest, take your pick. We've got so many. Eldest Ends we now have just witnessed, and the fruit of the eternal tree we've been sitting on, the Hesperidian apple. We've been sitting on that for a long time. So I guess we set out to fight things. We'll go patch up the ship first. I'm very concerned about taking this on. I think I would like to take out Mount Nomad over the Tree of Ages. I think that'll be the easier fight. Or maybe it's just because the Tree of Ages freaks me the heck out, considering it's surrounded by spiders and is also perhaps covered in spider webbing or something like that. Boy, oh boy, is it creepy. That is super creepy. Let's get to Fallen London first and restore our ship before anything else. We are really close to finishing that part up. I don't know if fighting them is going to lead to any other issues. I suppose I might as well stock up on sailors and reduce terror as far as possible. Whoops. Reduce terror as far as possible before we do that. And I realized I also want to visit Lobarnet here, because we've got a bunch of underwater locations to tell stories about and figure out their responses to them. Because there is the bell tower here that they've been sending people up, which we do want to... visit for ourselves. So, we are a storyteller of 3, apparently. We have a something awaits us, unfortunately. I see. We need to be a storyteller of 4 before we can participate in a contest of stories here. Right, and we had the Wandering Parson. That's who we dropped off here at one point. Let's go explore this location, grab the port report, and trade stories with the congregation. Let's speak of Wreck, because we're definitely going to go back there. That's one location that's very easy to visit and very common and reasonable to visit. If nothing else, you could warn them not to visit. Maybe. New Heights. You describe a city built from shipwrecks, a colossal tipsy tower lashed together by sentient weed. The weed commands the city's inhabitants to wreck more and build higher. The tower has already broken the surface and is extending towards the cavern roof. Only last week it caught its first dirigible. Did it really? Oh, okay. But we got a Z story from it, and we now have a storyteller of 4, which means we can participate in a contest of stories, finally, to visit the bell tower. At the altar, they are recruiting storytellers, and your life is fascinating. The pews are full, but there's a room for another contestant. Can you win the audience with tales of adventure? Let's go take advice from the Wandering Parson here. He's been mingling with the congregation. An end to whimsy. The parson takes you aside. Every day these people hear fables and fabrications. Give them something true. And if you win, he nods towards the bell tower. I would be very interested in seeing what goes on there. So am I. So am I. You're kidding. What? I don't have any options here. Okay, so either Dehoot, the Gant Pole, or Eigel. Is the best option. We've assisted the Imperious sister here. Why do we not have that? I guess we need to assist some more. I don't think we'll ever win the favor of the old zailors, considering we've favored the Haruspecs in their clashes. And we've not yet been in Dehoot, so I guess we're not done. We're not ready to do that here. Shame. I suppose we may as well trade stories. It said that the more we had, the better chances of winning that contest we did. So let's turn in the ones we are most likely to receive again. Antha, here. Its memory still gleams. We shall. Crystal Clear, you talk of consuming desire and mornings where every moment gleams with promise. You talk about broken vows and a love shattered, about a heart growing sharp as a barber's razor. You talk about how clearly we see the passions of others while obscuring our own motives. The listening zailors cast their eyes down looking into the past. We've lost that, and Nook, I think, is probably a fair one. Focus on something besides its illicit commerce. Ivories, you describe an immense mouth set into the Z floor, its rows of razored teeth. Few know this, you say, but during the Mordekalia festival, the Nook dwellers push on the teeth, playing them like the ivories of a gargantuan piano, and then the maw sings, a shuddering, bellowing dirge which causes whirlpools on the surface. The listening zailor frowns, one unfolds a chart. I think that's all the locations that we'll probably commonly visit. We'll need to head back to Antha, Nook, Rosegate, Scrimshander. We haven't actually been to Scrimshander in a while, and Rack to go and get some more. And I think that we're probably done here. Yeah, all finished in Low Barnett. Let's go and set out, head into Fallen London, and buy ourselves some more mushroom wine so we can help out our bandaged poissonnier. Fuel is still holding well. Supplies are actually dropping low, but not terribly low. Definitely enough to get to Rack. And, ooh. Okay, apparently we can talk our way out of the search here because we are antiquarian high enough, which won't cost us anything. The set something aside is actually going to fail Probably. Where typically it has not. I think because it's not an Admiralty thing. But today's off-duty officer is no respecter of the Admiralty. She will look ill on any attempt to frighten her with military credibility, but she's an amateur antiquarian, and so we shall bribe her way out of that. Of course, you two have corresponded under assumed names, but it's definitely her. She wouldn't dream of importing such a learned individual as yourself on your way. And we dropped a little, but we didn't actually fall out of our current level. And we've still got tons of nightmares. Yeah, everything is pretty much standard. Nothing for the brass embassy here. Really wish we could get a royal blue feather. They don't apparently sell for very much at all. They sell for very, very little. We can and will buy the casks of mushroom wine, and we'll buy a spare for good measure. Firkin of prisoners' honey is always good to have, and bales of parable linen should we sell here? They are taking up cargo space. We need 3 of them. We'll sit on the extra. We'll just keep it. We've as before, we've determined that keeping a little bit extra of certain things is a very good thing to do. I do very much wish that we could get a forward slot equipped to our ship. I love the ship. I would really like to not have to sell the ship, but it just doesn't have the forward slot that I really want it to have. Could also get this, just in case we need it. This will prevent our ship from exploding. Unfortunately, it equips to the aft slot, which is currently taken up by Mile Breaker, which will save us on fuel costs. Secure compartment would also be useful. If only I could store some of the things in my hold that I didn't need. Oh, apparently he needed parabola linen. Dang, I should have gotten more. Totally forgot about this. Stygian ivory, casks of sapphire, parabola linen. That's okay. I'm not super focused on trading with him anymore. He's just a contact, one of many. We'll go check in with the family here after we get our recent news. Hello there. You should be just about ready to become a scion, won't he? If you trade with him enough, he has more story stuff. Ah, okay, so maybe I should focus on that venture. What shall we give to our scion here? I can't... Dang, I can't recall how much our scion has improved things. Maybe that's... Where would that be? Here it is. Yeah, I have no idea how much he is, so I'd like to get him to become a scion. But I don't know where he's at. I wouldn't want to go overboard and use something expensive if it can bring him over the edge with something cheap. Yeah, Vargas we're done with. Oh no, that expands it. Okay, this is actually compressed. I would love to learn where that is. Maybe instead of looking through everything, we think a little more carefully. I scrolled right past it. No, that was the romance. That didn't actually tell us anything about his scion nature. You know what? Whatever. We're gonna spend a night something nice. Oh no! Oh no! I backed out of time with the family, so it wasted that. Dang. Shoot. I should never have checked. Can I get back to him? Time with the family? Anywhere? Okay. Well, what a waste of a trip. I guess we are just heading to Fathom King's hold, so that's really not that far out. We just do this the next time. We'll give him an outlandish artifact. Memoirs Z Fever. Okay. Let's check that. Memoirs. Here we go. Our sunstroke is 1. I think that's actually a different thing. I think the menace, yeah, yearning burning is actually the sunstroke stuff. And 21. The next time we find something that has 4, we'll go and do that. I don't think we have anything of great interest to her. I would like to sit on an extra vital intelligence, just in case. We'll probably give her a move in the great game, though. Right? No, we won't. Labyrinth of Tigers, still doing Labyrinth of Tigers things. They really don't have too much going on with them. Maybe they do, and I've just not found anything useful for them to do. I do wish these lamentable relics were more profitable from this trade. Now, we've got more captivating treasures. We might convert one of them into another heirloom. Oh, and we can actually get the Dread Surmise now. That'll enable us to finish off the end of it. To finish off an Aestival with the Commodore, because the Dread Surmise he requests for that technology. You know what? Let's go after the figurehead of the Eater of Names. We'll go after that at some point soon. We'll go and turn in some, probably just one of those intriguing snippets. And be done here. We have our casks of mushroom wine. We'll buy a sack of dark drop coffee beans, should we need it for anything. Now let's just head quickly over to Fathom King's hold down here. Just a quick trip down, and then probably head straight back. And go and try to make ourselves a scion. And maybe on the way back we'll stop by Rack to go top off on fuel and supply. This should go complete the Bandaged Poissonier's quest, maybe. It'll complete a step in it at the very least. And hopefully the Fathom King will be nice-ish. We could stop off at Mutton Island. I don't know if we've actually stopped here in a while. I wonder if the Grand Geode has changed. Nope. They're still blocking off the location. But we got the port from there. You know, considering we gave it to them ever so long ago, and the fact that we've actually turned the Grand Geode, or the Dawn Machine cult into a... Whoa. Wait, is that clouds and fog, or is that like Mount Nomad? Because those were all moving together. What the heck was that? Bound shark? That's actually a significantly weaker bound shark. Though he also can't quite keep up with us. We'll go and fight him. Might as well. Make this trip a entertaining one. Ooh, oh, he's going to gently damage us. Not so gently, perhaps. What, just now we discovered the bound shark? Come on. I'm actually going to let our ship get hit quite a bit. I don't mind too much because we're going to fix it up when we get back to the docks here. We'll go and... We'll just take its meat. Supplies, hunting trophy, and an unprepossessing mass. Let's check what's over here. 20 hunger. That's what's over there. And we'll go fight this western crab too. Back. Uh-oh. Oh, he took a curving route. But he's not very fast. Oh boy. Not using your blue scintillic. I could. I have a tendency to, even though it's a renewable resource, I have a tendency to leave it alone. I suppose this we may as well check out and dissect, because I don't actually think we've dissected one of these particular ones before. The death of an angler. Its shell is shattered and the glowing Elysiae lie silent. Let's dissect it for knowledge. Decapodal mysteries. You and your ship's doctor clamber over the beast as it lies in the lee of your ship. I'm not exactly sure what a lee is. Its blood is a curious blue, and the blood too is touched by luminescence. It's female, but there are no eggs. And what's this on its belly? Someone has chiseled 7 marks between 2 horizontal lines like pillars supporting a roof. Yeah, so it seems like a lot of the beasts here are actually somehow touched by human civilization. The bound sharks have, obviously, the cages around them. The moray eels had, like, something put into their flesh, I feel like I recall. The crab there that we just dissected went and had something. I've already forgotten. Something carved into its shell. I wonder what's up with that. Maybe it's the Fathom King itself? I'm really not quite sure. But we'll head over to the Fathom King and see what our bandaged poissonnier wants from him with 5 bottles of wine. It should be, yeah, just south of this. So we'll go and dock and request an entrance for some Z stories. And let's attend the Poissonnier's feast. The drowny court, soggy, chattering, hungry, populate a table of carved coral. The Poissonnier claps his hands, your crew scurry in with steaming plates. The 7th miracle. There are 7 courses, each named. It begins with the first touch on the skin, a plate of silky white flesh submerged in yellow sauce. Fresh, sharp, shocking. Next comes struggling against the current, a fierce terrine of coursing flavors. Struggling against the current. That sounds like a band name. Actually, probably a lot of these could probably be band names. It leaves the diners watery-eyed and reaching for their wine. Before they recover, bowls of pelican soup are set before them. Swallowed, the Poissonnier intones. There we go. The taste is deep and rich and heavy, lining the stomach. Several drownies lift their bowls to their lips to catch the last drops. Okay, so it looks like we're going sort of through the same colors, just in meal form. Interesting. A merciful interlude follows. The surface, high above, is a mild palate-cleansing mousse, I think that is. Afterwards comes lost breath, a relade of still wriggling tentacles, bitter on the tongue's tip, but departing with a long, mellow aftertaste as it slides down the throat. The penultimate course is the abandonment of the self. The abandonment of the self is spun with sugar and crunchy with salt. Spherical cages of solidified syrup containing fiery sweetmeats. The filigree cracks between drowny teeth. The sweetmeats vanish down damp gullets. Last of all, the promise of what is to follow, a bruleed cream of inexplicable pungency, indescribably Moorish. The diners lean back bloated. When their senses return, they call for the Poissonnier and congratulate him upon impeccably reproducing the sensation of drowning in culinary form. Oh, so that's what was happening there. Okay. It was not drowning, the Fathom King says, his baritone rolling over their babble. It was love. Oh. Love is the real friend. Love was the treasure all along. He raises his glass to the poissonnier. Wait, we lost. Oh, okay. Okay, we lost the bandaged poissonnier, but now we have the bandaged chef paramount. Ah, I don't know what a poissonnier is, and I can guess, but I don't know what a chef paramount is either. So, presumably, we're all done with him, right? Let's go talk with him. Poisson means fish in French. Ah, okay. Then yeah, we finished off with the poissonnier here. Maybe he'll be the completed crewmate that we give to the Fathom King, since the Fathom King seems to adore him so. We can go. We have to go find one of those two terrible beasties here, and give him a good what for before we can do that. They really, really are the very last things we need for that. Oh man, I'm not looking forward to fighting that. Like, it's so hard to fight Z-Beast. I find it so difficult, especially with this new engine, because we can run away, but we have to turn all the way around or take like a diagonal direction to go and get our full speed. I wish it increased our half speed and our, well, maybe not our half speed, considering the issues we have with turning with our full speed on. But I at least wished it turned the backing up a little faster. Turn that up a little bit. Tried orbiting. That I have not actually tried. Maybe that's a better option. I find it difficult though, because the weapon, it means the weapons charge up a little more slowly. I suppose as we don't have a forward weapon, it's not that much worse. We'll see. We'll see. I've also never fought anything that powerful. Turning your lights off too. Well, they know where you are as soon as you fire the first shot, don't they? At least I'm pretty sure that's how that's been. Only ships do. Ah, okay. So yeah, maybe we'll have to attempt that. But we'll go and leave Fathom King's hold. Let's see, do we have anything else to do? Anything close by here? Maybe Rack. Guider's Morn, we have nothing new for. Yeah, I guess we just head back here. I think that's what we do. Do we have any more quests we could undertake? We've got a long, long list of things here. Ah, you know what? I suppose we can go down south and look for more milliner bats. I'm going to sail all the way to the other side. I'm only going to sail all the way to Fathom King's hold. No, King Eater's castle, the other king. Going to sail all the way to King Eater's castle. If we don't find a milliner bat, we will go and challenge some. What were they? Blue prophets. We'll go and challenge them on the way back. And that'll give us the feather that'll allow the merciless Modeste to go and make ourselves a. To go and make us, rather, a lovely, lovely costume. Oh, you know, yeah, probably should stop off. We'll just do it in. In Igel. We should stop off for food if we're going to take that on, because our food situation is not doing so great. And actually, if we're already down here, instead of going to Igel, we may as well head to Port Carnelian, methinks. And our log is going wild. Lots and lots of new things being added there. But luckily enough, with our new engine, traveling to this location will not take any time whatsoever. Our terror is still at 45 because we accidentally abandoned our child before he was given something. before we actually got our terror reduction from it. I can't believe we couldn't go straight back there. We're a little south of Port Carnelian. Need to head up and around, and we'll need to curve wide with our new turning radius. The Fulgent Impeller, yes, we did pick that up last time. So we are traveling at speed. Now we can go check on our spies' needs. Ah, lovely, we've got the romantic literature for that, in addition to a tiger's library. So we'll go and give him that. That'll reduce... Oh, no, that'll gain our terror, but that will increase our spy network. Not that we particularly needed to. We'll gain some more vital intelligence and a Z story. And hopefully, if we're lucky... Ah, no. We would be able to get ourselves another one of romantic literature, but it seems like that's not going to be the case. These are also both very, very costly options, a Judgment's Egg and a Searing Enigma, so we'll definitely have to come back and seek another opportunity here. But we'll go pick up some supplies. I think up to... $10? Nah, let's get it to 15 and buy this up to 25. There we go. There's a really funny thing you can do with the impeller. First, the smaller the ship, the faster you move. Put it on the smallest ship and... Ah, I see. Second, the faster you go, the further out your camera zooms. Third, there's a very, very rare event where your engine explodes on full power, giving you the full power multiplier and a 10,000 engine power for a brief time. Combine them all and you become a satellite. That'd be interesting. I guess if you wanted to cross a vast distance very quickly, and have the sight of the entire the entire Sunless Sea, that would be a good option. But that's just an entertaining image. I can't see any other situation where that would be quite necessary. But yes, let's go seeking out some of those impeller bats? No, that doesn't seem right. Impeller is the engine. It starts with an I. It also starts with an I. The fancy blue bats will sail to the east side of the map and right on back on the south, seeing if we can find any. If we don't, then we don't. I was wrong. It's actually 20,000? My goodness. You are just a rocket at that point. You are piloting a craft that can escape the velocity of... that can reach escape velocity here. That is a lot of blue profits. It's a shame we did not intend on combating them. We are men of our words. All of us collectively. It's the royal we at this point. Hopefully these milliner, there it is. It didn't start with an I at all. What was I talking about? Milliner bats. Hopefully those are not half bad. Because somebody in the chat at some point was indicating very strongly that I should avoid the blue profits. Not that I'd know as to why. I think the milliner bats were exactly as dangerous. Press H. I've fallen for that before. What does H do? Let's do it? No, I'm not going to do it. You know what? I'll check it, and then, if it's important, I will do it. H, horn. Ah, I see. Okay, I can absolutely do that. There you go. There you go. Reported to the Hague. H for Hague. Is that how that works? Is this how we invite the bats to go and fight us? We just horn at them the whole time. The UN is after me now? Oh, no! Dang. Well, it's a good thing I only go up to the surface to Venice. Or no, not Venice. Naples. There we go. I don't know if the UN has jurisdiction for the Untersee. That's just what happens after your crew doesn't cook the beans long enough. Ah, I see. Bandaged poissonnier. Or no, bandaged chef something. Chef compliant or chef gracious. Whatever he is. He didn't do his job well enough. He's left it to the random scrubs. Checked his new stats. Oh, did he got new stats? The actual character did. That I did not realize. Hearts 9, pages 5. I think the Nacreous Survivor is still better. That's not too bad, though, if I ever need to do a hearts check for something. Unfortunately, that's not quite what I'm looking for. And we have reached the eastern edge of the map. No milliner bats. Yeah, we got to go get to those blue prophets we saw earlier. Sailed off the east edge yet? No, mostly because I'm afraid of what will happen. The east side is not very friendly. It is far away from anywhere we could sufficiently restock up on people, most especially. I suppose the Khanate is sort of far east. But the people issue is what I'm having the most concern about. Because every other time we've sailed off the side of the map, both the north and south, we've lost either half or the entirety, barring one, of our crew. And that is a rough situation to be in, especially since the half speed is not affected by our Fulgent Impeller's speed. So we still sail along like we are rowing a Viking ship, if we do that. I'm sure we will eventually. I'm very sure we will sail off the east edge of the map at some point. But not right now. Right now, we're just going for those those milliner bats, or the blue prophets. The west side. No, I have not sailed off the west side because the Dawn Machine scares the bejesus out of me. My goodness, does the Dawn Machine scare the absolute lights out of me. I have no idea what it is. That's the issue. I have no idea what it is, but it has something to do with sunlight. It lights up. The cult is creepy and scary, even though they all have smiles, but the smiles look like they're about to cut their way out of their faces. We don't know if they're possessed by something. I do not trust the Dawn Machine. Anybody that attractive has to have some terrible burning secret. Hold on a minute. Where are my blue prophets? They're making me cry. No. Where are my blue prophets, though? They were just over here. There they are. They're in a fog bank. We're gonna die. Ah. Okay, we'll lead them out of this fog. That's my plan. Come on, follow me. Oh my god, don't follow so close. Oh my god. No. Woo. Oh god. There's a jellyfish, too. Oh god. Everything's gone wrong. We're all gonna die. Ow. Okay, that's not that bad, actually. 15 damage is very doable. I don't know why that other guy was so... Oh, my god. Okay, if they do 15 damage that fast... Oh, they're going to wheedle me down. Holy... Ah! Leave me alone, or at least let me get out of the way of the... Ah! Okay. Turn your lights off. Yeah, sure. Let's see. That one. There we go. Use the blue scintillic. Yes, you were right. I need to get them in my, sights first is the issue. What? Why is this not charging? Why are you not charging? What? What? I'm sorry, what? The Screaming Sage? Captain, I dreamt of that engine. I dream of joining the Sage in its course screaming. Captain, I dream of joining him. That's not friendly. Gotta click them again. Ah, okay, I see. Let's talk to the tireless mechanic here. He built the thing, he must be able to manage it. I know, it calls to me too. These things will happen. We have employed forces not intended for mortal use. I mean that quite literally. We must take our knocks. He shrugs. He looks regretful. I guess we do this? Why is this in space? Why is this a space station? Okay. Goodbye, sailor. I give you a salute so you can jump in. A brief glory for a magnificent instant, the zailor is silhouetted against the fire at the impeller's heart, and then he's gone, and the impeller roars with delight. Perhaps no one saw. Well, we turned him into fuel. That's something-ish. Okay, we'll just use that off the bat here. Can you... Oh, for the love of... Uh-oh. No, you can't see me. You can't see me. La 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 la. Ah! Haha, dodge! Oh, God, why are... No wonder these things... Yeah, these things are rough. These things are so bad. I don't know how well I'm doing at it, though. I'm also noticing that our situation on food and fuel has quickly become dire. Press the one key to fire. I'd rather click on things. Oh, for the love of... Okay, we're dragging him up. Strange catch, some terror. Come on, let me target you. I think the suckiest thing about the Blue Prophets, and most of the flying... Oh, God. Most of the flying enemies, in particular, is that they just flap around, and you can really never keep them in front of you. Especially if you got a ship like mine, which... Ugh. Which does not have a good turning radius. At the very least, the circling method that you mentioned is actually doing pretty well. Well, it was until I mentioned it, and then it got embarrassed. Almost done, though. We're almost done here. Ow! Stop hitting me! Stop blowing holes in my ship. Captain Jack Sparrow is played by a 12-year-old. Okay, we're done. Oh, no, don't submerge. No, no, you idiot. Oh God. I hate everything. I hate everything in the world. They better still be there. They better still freaking be there. Oh, my God. And they're gone. All right, we're done. That's it. We're ending the stream. We're sailing back to London. We're ending the stream. I hate this so much. I hate everything about this. Oh, good God. I'm unbinding that too. You know, I'm unbinding everything. I'm just going to click on everything. This will be World of Warcraft version 2. I hate that. I hate them so much. They are the worst enemies. No, we're bringing it up. We're taking them in. We are destroying any sea creature that crosses our path from here on. Our terror is in check. We're fine. Our fuel is going to go. I hate, the thing I hate most is that no matter what you do, if you initiate an action, you cannot mess with it. If it's got like a long, drawn-out thing, nothing you can do. So if you do something like the repairing nonsense, you will eat through the entirety of your supply. I have not figured out a way to cancel that. If you do something like submerging, you can't cancel that in any way. It's ridiculous. No, we'll just ignore you. It's just the worst. I'm blowing you to smithereens to make me feel better, Jellyfleur. Don't you dare. Don't you dare hit my ship. I'm turning you into food. We spent so long on that fight. So freaking long on that fight. The birds just did not want to play nice. They spent their entire time on my aft, so I couldn't shoot them. Maybe I do that. Maybe I swap out the guns here. I swap out my my mile breaker with an aft weapon so I can shoot him from the rear and the front. I've got the space for it at this point. I'm not doing any cargo runs anymore. Major cargo runs to the surface and whatnot. So I do have the space in my hold. That's the one. To go and do that. What a waste. What a waste of so much time, so much hull. Fuel, supplies, questionably crew. I don't think we actually lost any. Actually, we did lose some. We lost one because he decided he'd throw himself to the fire in the middle of that thing. I can't believe I submerged. Whatever, I'll pay tax. I'll pay the tax. I'm done fighting this stuff. Pay the customs duty on any untaxed souls or romantic literature you're carrying. Surrender any smuggled sunlight. Here, there's approved romantic literature for your viewing pleasure. Lost 5 echo from it. Okay, that's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. I thought it'd be significantly worse. And our Nightmares Menaces is back at 9. Lovely. So, what do we have to do here? We have to put our ship in dry dock and go repair it up for some Admiralty's favor here. We can talk to the voracious diplomat and sell that vital intelligence we picked up in Port Carnelian, because the Dawn Machine is already triumphant. Oh no, we actually gained more than we had before? Okay, apparently we were not at the highest level yet. We gained 600 echo and 3 more favors, so that effectively replaced the ones we used in repairing our ship. We will go to our lodgings, and this time we will make sure to completely spend time with our little child here. We will give him a souvenir just to make sure he becomes a scion here. There's space for it on that shelf. The danger of breakage. Your child seems powerfully inclined to play with the artifact. Perhaps it will break. Perhaps there's a jewel inside it, or a map or a spirit. Perhaps it is edible. Perhaps you should employ a more vigilant, there we go, nurse. And now he has become a scion. I want to go away to sea. Your child wants to sign on with a ship already. The time passes quickly and most quickly on the Untersee. How many years have you been at sea? Don't ask. Time operates slyly out in the dark. Yeah, no, we're definitely going to make him a scion. I was considering forbidding it, considering it sets terror to 0, and more importantly reduces nightmares, but that is a challenge anyway. And we want a scion, so let's permit it. A family tradition if your child survives. Many zailors don't. You of all people know that. So now we get 2 legacies. Oh, only 2? I thought we'd get everything. But hey, we got an achievement for it. All is well for now. New Year's Day, 1890-something. Quartermaster's assistant of legal age, signed on recommendation of legal guardian. Give equal treatment. We've picked up a scion. When you die, the next generation may take up the torch. In the meantime, they will live at home. Probably. Sweet. So we're good. We had a little trouble at the end there. We finally fought those blue prophets and did not actually pick up their drop that we very much needed, because we accidentally submerged. How dumb. How very, very dumb. You know what? I'm rebinding that. I'm rebinding that key too. To submerge, we will hit... Where is it? Ah, it's transform ship. We will hit P to do that. Repair. Well, you can be O. That way we'll never hit any of those keys by accident ever again. And we will make our lights. Or, yeah, our lights will be R. Because that is a key I actually need to hit very often. And so I don't want to be that all the way across the... Don't want to be all the way across the sea. Was it worth messing with the profits? I like to set the chart to X. It's not a bad idea. I don't mind M so much. M is far enough out of the way from those other keys that I've reset everything to that it's not too bad. And it's always been a map key. So that was okay. Messing with the prophets would have been fine. Messing with the prophets would have been totally fine if we had picked up their stuff. Because we knew we would take a beating from them. I just kind of expected that. But losing out on both the hull, the health that we had, and not getting that was just the worst. But the rest of the stream was all right. We used our lovely new engine to get all the way across here. We head over to the Isle of Cats to go and meet with the king there. So now we have access to red honey, I think it is, which we turned into the Empire of Hands. We went and traded with them to go and get some violent ink so we could witness the end of the first curator over in Venderbite, since we turned in all the colors. And he became a moth. We stole his book of secrets and got all that done. We also went to the Sea of Lilies to go and talk to the governor there, who then delivered himself to Hideaway. So that's all done there. We also helped out our bandaged poissonnier give the Fathom King his feast, which I believe ends his questline. I can't seem to find anything more that he wants us to do. So he is now the bandaged chef graced or something? Bandaged chef paramount. That was the one. Bandaged chef paramount. So we're all done there. We also went into Irem to go and pick up those parabola linen, bits of parabola linen, which means whenever we find some more milliner bats or take on another set of blue prophets, when and if, then we will be able to turn ourselves into a well-dressed Z captain. Poissonnier. Fishmonger, apparently. Ah, okay. Oh, and it's, yeah, of course it's poissonnier, because it's French, isn't it? They have to pronounce everything kind of odd. So is this Palamon or something like that? probably something very, very French like that, but no, we're gonna call it Paramount. He's a movie studio here. But we're all done with that. We really can just move on to collecting those last few things. We've got the ability to get a Dread Surmise from the Commodore, but we have to get the figurehead of the Eater of Names for him to finish that part. So we'll have to go and take on that ship. Maybe we'll do that before we go out for either the Tree of Ages or the Mount Nomad. Because those are boss monsters. They have quite a bit more health. I think the Eater of Names is a little bit more difference. There's a different way to get the surmise. Is there really? Okay. Yeah, the only way we knew for sure was the Alarming Scholar here, but we lose access to her, whatever it is. That's how I have 34 of them? Good God, man. What are you possibly using them all for? Money? Yeah, that kind of makes sense. But yeah, we'll go and hunt down some of those next time. Craziest route in the game. Maybe we'll take the same one. Maybe we'll find it. We've still got to send some sea beasties to the Gant Pole for the Fading Haruspex to go and see. But that'll all be for next time. That'll be for Thursday. Thursday we'll come back to Sunless Sea. We'll go and do some hunting. Then that is when we will go after the Eater of Names and either Mountain Nomad or the Tree of Ages. Well, depending if we can swing it. That'll be Thursday at 3 PST. If you're not just interested, though, no, that'll be Tuesday at 3 PST. It's Thursday now. So next Tuesday, 3 PST is when I will be doing that. If not just interested in Sunless Sea stuff, though, I will be back tomorrow in Sevtech Ages. I will be building something. I have no idea where I left off there. We got to Age 4 there, which is the post-industrial era. So I'll probably be making plastic or something thereabouts, plastic tools or devices, something like that. and we'll get that all set up in Subtech Ages. That'll be tomorrow at 3 PST, Friday 3 PST, same time. So feel free to show up to that. I hope to see you guys at one of those too. If not, I hope you guys go and hunt a bunch of birds and don't miss out on the loot like I did. As for me, though, I'm going to call it at the end of the stream. Cheers, everybody.